Sciver, 26-year veteran of the comic book industry and world's most charming, elegant, eloquent, and yet humble man. Great big Star Wars fan, a trusted member of the media. I'm here with the world's most charming, elegant, eloquent, and yet humble man. Star Wars fan, trusted member of the media. I'm here with
Sorry.
Oh my God!
I was in the other room too. I'm like running over.
Yeah. I think I sent you a bad link initially, and I don't know. And by the way, I just assumed that John might still be up and do this. I don't know if he is or not, but I did send. Did you get a hold of him?
I sent him a message. You sent him a link?
Yeah, I sent him the link. I was just like, "Hey man, can you stream?" And then didn't hear anything from him. But
he's definitely awake. They just finished drawn and quartered. He won.
Oh, good. Who was in there? I first of all, I watched John's new video, and I have to say something. Charlie X deserves a great big thank you from John Malin, because ever since he was forced, ever since his hand was forced to do recorded videos, edited videos, John has been rocking and rolling. His video tonight. On Mike Miller getting kicked from Kickstarter was devastating, was absolutely devastating. I watched that and I'm starting to see things differently, Cecil.
Yes. I saw the video as well. It's an excellent video.
What do you think of the whole thing?
I don't know why he went to Kickstarter. I mean,
I do.
They've been openly hostile to Zach and anybody at Comicsgate, so I don't.
Yeah, that's weird. Why would you do that? Why would you go somewhere where they would be openly hostile to, Comicsgaters? What would be the reason for that? That's weird.
My guess would be he has too many open projects on IndieGoGo.
Yeah.
Is that what you think?
Yeah. All right. Let's welcome John Malin. We'll bring him into this. And hi, John.
Hello.
John, I want to congratulate you for a few things here. I want to congratulate you for your third consecutive victory on Drawn and Quartered tonight. I didn't see it. I was asleep, but everyone's raving about it.
Oh man, it was huge. Thanks to everyone in Phantom Menace and Comicsgate that came out, voted for me. A record vote for first place. I had over 400 votes. Destroyed.
What was second place? Just for perspective, do you know?
It was Mike. I think a lot of people were probably voting twice and 3 times for him, but he almost made it to 100, I think.
Okay, so nowhere near. That's great. Congratulations. Whenever I watch that show, I always vote for you, and then tell other people to do the same. There's something about watching you. Yeah, you're one of there are only a few people like you. I think Elliot Fernandez is another one. You guys are performative comic book artists, and that it's fun to watch you. I mean, believe me.
Yeah, Elliot's really good at banter, and his characters that he slips into are really funny. It's about being entertaining more so than just drawing, because the drawing show you get, if all you're doing is just drawing and just kind of talking about stuff nobody cares about, you get what is that Dan Panosian
Drink and Draw
show? Yeah,
Drink and Draw. No. Yeah, a big snooze fest. So we try to liven it up. Elliot's one of the best. And I'm definitely probably the biggest draw for trash talk.
Yeah. Well, it's not just that. I don't just mean your personalities are entertaining, because you are, like, John, your personality is bright and shiny and fun, and people really. I was describing what it's like for the three of us to do a stream, because Andrea loves it. Andrea's like, you should stream with Cecil and John, and that's about it. Oh. And I was like, wow, that's okay. She's like, not that you shouldn't stream with other people, but when you do, the three of you are the best together. And it's like, you say you're the straight man, and then ironically, right, Cecil? And you kind of, Cecil will come out and say something wonderful, and John kind of punctuates it. It's like there's something about John's sense of humor. It's subtle, it's understated. And it's just like, boom. And it's like, whoa, okay, you just totally, completely underscored everything and made it funny and twisted it around. So she always says, you guys should stream together. But it's not just that. What makes you fun and fun to watch is that your drawing seems effortless. So watching me draw is agony. That's why I don't do these streams. Like I pour over. I like I don't know what I'm doing. I never know what I'm doing, and just fuck around until it comes out the way I want it to come around. I mean that's kind of the way I draw. You seem to have a plan in place, and watching you draw is just fun as hell, and it's quick. You're a quick artist.
Yeah, I wish I had more of a plan, but I really don't have. Like, I didn't even know we were doing Daredevil when we got in there tonight. So yeah, I just can't come up with it on the fly. But my style puts all the work in the layout, where yours puts all the work in the finish. So that gives me a lot of freedom to make a bazillion lines and start making choices.
That's what I was just thinking when you said that, Ethan. It's like his style makes sense for him to not know where he's going, but yours, because you work on paper. I mean, I would think you had everything planned out to like the last detail before you even started.
Oh, hell no. I have an idea of what I want to do. I know what needs to go on the paper, and I know I can picture it in my mind as perfect. And then I sit down and I go, I can't fucking do that. And then I do something else and I settle for it. You see what I'm saying?
Yeah.
I mean, and the good news is the reason why I succeed is because nobody knows what it was meant to look like. They only know the finished product. Only I know how bad I suck. Some other people suspect, but the truth is, only I have full, complete, 100% knowledge of how badly I suck. So that's a good thing. John, I was going to say, what a wonderful thing. I'm going to try to make myself feel better here. You're not going to like this, but let me just say this anyway. Hooray for Charlie XCX. Ever since you lost your streaming privileges because of my stupidity, your channel has become a tour de force of your sense of humor, your sensibilities, in edited video form.
John, this is where you're supposed to thank Ethan.
Say thank you, Ethan, for fucking up my life.
Appreciate it.
You're welcome.
Thank you for bringing Charlie XCX into my life and ruining my channel.
Because of that, we get videos like the one that you did today, which was devastating and subtle and yet pointed and interesting. If you guys haven't watched John's new video about the Kickstarter debacle, now, in case you guys don't know what's going on. We'll just start from the beginning here and just talk this through. Somebody sent me this, and I just kind of started the video. Hold on a second, Mike. I'll just find it real quick. Wow, everybody's retweeting your video, man.
Oh, cool.
Everybody's retweeting your video.
Yeah. You guys, you can find my channel. It's John Malin, just like my name is spelt here. So.
All right.
But yeah, so I do these edited videos, and I actually put that one together pretty quick. Like the other videos I do, I mean, it's almost like 5 hours of edits. I mean, they're real labor intensive. But this one I wanted to have done before I got on Drawn and Quartered. So I was like, oh my God, can I do this in an hour and a half? And I barely did.
So amazing work. Amazing work.
Yeah.
And you edited some conversation that you had with Mike, because you said, why are you going to Kickstarter? We should actually just watch some of your video. Do you care if we watch it? No.
Go ahead. Yeah, you can play it. Yeah.
Really? Okay. I don't want to cost you clicks, but I mean, it really is that good. And people,
it's fine.
If you wouldn't mind, after I play it, I mean, go over there and please give it a click yourself, even though you've already seen it, run it through and let John have that view. I'd appreciate that.
And give him a sub.
Yeah, my God. How's your sub count doing?
It's going steady up. I mean, it's not doing gangbusters or anything like that, but that's because I cannot for the life of me do 3 videos in a day. So yeah, I got Graveyard Shift that I'm working on full force, and I'm trying to get these Malin After Midnight videos out 3 times a week.
Well, I enjoy them. I'm really glad I'm subbed. Okay, so let's take a look at this. This is the video that you did today. I'll blow this up. Make sure that we've got enough audio. I think we do. Okay, here we go. Great. Good job.
What's fun?
My Kickstarter.
No.
All right. I mean, I like that you do this, by the way. Let me just tell you, I really appreciate the text. You know, you do have to watch your videos. You can't just listen to them. Mike giggles, knowing Kickstarter blocked my campaign with Richard C. Meyer's Jawbreakers Lost Souls, jeopardizing my own livelihood at the time, and kicking off the very Comicsgate publishing revolution that would later save his home from foreclosure. So let me just hear that again. That was astonishing. All right, here we go.
I'm back. What's fun?
My Kickstarter.
No.
See, like that giggles. Like, I know that bothers you. I'm being a troll. Yeah.
Oh yeah. Well, he knows. I mean, Mike's been around. I mean, he's been knee deep in Comicsgate. He and Edwin, they both fully understand what it means for them to be going over to Kickstarter.
Yeah, it's a full-on kind of middle finger to Comicsgate, but it serves a bunch of purposes. I mean, they're strategizing behind the scenes. There's a this would be a double whammy for Mike, you know, to do this, and we'll talk about that. I'll explain why. All right, let's keep watching this.
John's allergic to Kickstarter. It ran over his cat.
Jesus Christ.
Oh, no. Well, that's me.
Yeah. I mean, you can't underscore that enough. So Edwin's aware. Like, Edwin's like, you know, look, I don't know why he goes, oh no. Well,
they both know exactly what Kickstarter is about, and they're downplaying it because they're going to try to take advantage of it. Or Mike is. And Edwin, you know, Edwin doesn't do anything, but Edwin's just on board because Mike's going to go and do that.
Edwin is ultimately supportive of Mike. Like, whatever Mike's going to do, Edwin's going to support him in, you know, even if it's not the best idea. But yeah, so Edwin's also fully aware that Kickstarter was not only unfriendly to Jawbreakers, but to vocal conservatives, which he and Mike both are. So they plan to go. So this is true. If you go to Kickstarter and you really look, you're going to find very few books by vocal conservatives, and about almost 95% of the content up there will be like transgendered hair care, you know, and in a comic book form. Just bullshit that nobody wants. Struggling trying to reach, you know, $100 in funding, and everything's just a failure. It's an SJW wonderland. And not only that, they've hired Camilla Zong from DC Comics to come in there and gatekeep and keep out anyone who is who's conservative. Now, Mike, I think, thought he might be immune to that, but as we'll see, Mike had another plan just in case he wasn't, which I think is pretty amusing. All right, here we go.
Yeah. No, it refused my campaign.
God, I love you for saying that.
Was there ever?
Hold on, I talked over that. I love the way you said that. I mean, you're just like, you weren't mad. You were like, let me just explain. You know, it's like they refused my campaign. Remember, buddy? Okay.
No, it refused my campaign.
Was there ever actually a communication on that, or did they just say we're not gonna have your campaign?
Why do they think that there wasn't? Wasn't that bandied about, that communication?
Yeah, that struck me as odd because, well, yeah, there's definitely communication. Otherwise, how do we know that we're refused? You know, it's like, it's almost like, do you have evidence of that? Like, are you just making this up? Well, yeah, we definitely have evidence of it, man. They communicated with us. Same way they would eventually communicate with Mike.
The same exact way, you know. But I mean, Edwin's saying that, like, look at the look on his face. He's kind of like, are you sure of what you're saying? Like, I don't think Edwin really even knows. Mike has to know. This was everywhere. I mean, that you know, Anti-Comicsgate got a hold of the communication from Kickstarter to Richard C. Meyer via HP. You know, HP Collages or whatever her name was. She got it because she was an insider. She was a trusted member of kind of, you know, Richard's insider group who was helping with the campaign. She had it, and as soon as she turned heel, she gave it to Anti-Comicsgate, and they bragged about it. They put it all over the internet, and it was just like, well, we told you that. You know, oh no, that's not right. Zach wanted to keep it quiet for a little while. I remember that.
Mhm.
Zach was kind of ashamed of it, embarrassed of it, and wanted to keep it quiet for a little while. But once it leaked, and everybody knew about it. And we kind of had to be like, yeah, this is what happened. So it's not like we were trying to slam Kickstarter at any point. It was just kind of like, we don't want to give these people any more red meat or affect IndieGoGo's decision about us. Like, what if IndieGoGo sees this and goes, yeah, well, Kickstarter's not taking you. Why would we? So
Right.
it was important to kind of keep that sublimated until Anti-Comicsgate blew it up. But I mean, everybody should know about it. All right.
All right. Here's what we got from Kickstarter. Thanks for sharing your project with us. We've carefully reviewed it against our rules and were unable to approve it to launch. As a public benefit corporation committed to fighting inequality and creating a more equitable world, Kickstarter does not allow projects that promote discrimination, subjugation, or intolerance towards marginalized groups. We recommend you review our rules. That is what Kickstarter sent us.
I don't remember anything in Jawbreakers itself that could be interpreted that way.
That's right.
Holy shit, a super chat just came through. Daniel C says, quote, who's going to beat me? Is Ethan here? No. All I see before me is mortal men. John Malin on tonight's Drawn and Quarters. Quote of the century. Hashtag Malin Militia. Did you say that?
Oh, I forgot I said that. Yeah, that was epic. That was epic.
That is fucking awesome.
I tell you, man, Drawn and Quartered, guys, if you don't like Mike, whatever, I mean, that tail end of Drawn and Quartered, just go to the last half hour. It was on fire, man.
Oh,
shots were getting fired. People, comments were getting that were pro Comicsgate were getting deleted by Hikaru, who's one of the moderators for Mike. I was just like, because I'm a moderator on there, so I can see what the people are writing. So as I started seeing all these comments being deleted, I started clicking on them to see what they were saying. It was nothing. It was like, go Comicsgate.
Wow. Okay.
So, yeah, that last half hour was on fire. Drawn and Quartered, guys.
Okay. All right, let's finish this video. Look at Edwin. Edwin's got that, like, I'm wrestling with my conscience here and my duty to my friend. All right, let's go.
Mm-hmm. And that's why Kickstarter can go fuck themselves.
Good for you. I love it. Fade to black.
But that was kind of at the peak of your boy Zach hysteria, right? Where everybody
look at Edwin trying to make excuses and justify this. His hands are up in his hair. He's rubbing his forehead. Old man, you realize you're on camera, right? You realize people can see you. People don't need to look at your dandruff. Could you please sit up straight? But I mean, he's struggling with this. Like he's massaging his temples.
I think Edwin knows that going to Kickstarter is completely going against any sense of principles or solidarity. Look, Mike doesn't have to have solidarity or with Comicsgate, but just the treatment of conservatives that Mike 100% is to go over to Kickstarter and try to take advantage of that is just like, where's your solidarity? Where's your loyalty to your cause? It doesn't go very far when it comes to money.
Yes. Well, okay. We'll talk more about that, John. Don't worry. John, I want you to understand something about this stream. I have receipts. I have some crazy stuff. If we want to get into it, I can bring 100%. I can turn on a 300-watt bulb. That's my jersey bulb to this situation. If you'd like me to, I can enlighten everyone, or I cannot, or I could just leave it. You know.
Yeah, you could switch a flip.
I could switch a flip and let everyone. We'll see. All right, let's keep watching this. This is John. This is such a good video, man.
You just wrote mute Cecil. I haven't spoken in 5 fucking minutes.
That's why they're saying that. They want to hear more from you. All right.
Losing their brain over him.
Yeah, but that's not an excuse.
Oh no, it's not an excuse, but people even when they're crazy are still general rational actors. You know what I mean? And so you can normally figure out the cause and effect. Doesn't mean it's fair, doesn't mean it's right, but you can usually connect the dots.
The world isn't fair. The world isn't right.
And here's Mike's letter from Kickstarter after he submitted Now, Mike's plan was basically, look, and Mike. Let me just put it. Let me put it to you this way: Mike is badly in need of money. Let me say that again. Mike is badly in need of money. Should be a thunderbolt behind that. Thunderclap. Okay. So Mike's plan is to take his first Lone Star book, and kind of do what I did with Cyberfrog in a way, which is to just reopen it again with a lot of variant covers. But the problem is, Mike has not negotiated this with IndieGoGo. Mike currently has 1, 2, 3, 4, 5 books that he hasn't fulfilled yet with IndieGoGo. Okay. And so IndieGoGo is going to tell him, Indie, no. So Mike is going to go take Lone Star over to Kickstarter, and he is going to launch it. He's going to get some friends of his to donate covers to him, one would assume. Okay. So that he can, and one of those covers is going to be Kanan White. He's going to take Kanan White did a sketch of Lone Star. Mike got it off of him. That's going to be one of these variant covers. Take it to Kickstarter and then relaunch the original Lone Star because it's already finished with a bunch of variant covers. Relaunch the whole thing with a bunch of variant covers, and then see how well that one does. So that's his plan. His plan was to do that through Kickstarter because he doesn't owe him anything yet. But you see, all of this is piling up. All of this, I owe this, I owe that, is piling up behind him. Now, Kickstarter actually did him a favor. This letter says, "Hi, Mike. Thanks for sharing your project with us and the world. We've carefully reviewed it against our rules, and we're unable to approve it to launch. As a public benefit corporation committed to fighting inequality, except for conservatives, these fuckers, right. I hate Kickstarter. And creating a more equitable world. Do you understand that this is basically telling you that you're a Nazi? That's what this letter is.
Oh, yeah.
It's basically saying you stand in the way of these things. Like, I want to create a more equitable world, too. I don't want to allow discrimination, subjugation, or intolerance towards marginalized groups. And yet here I am.
How about any group? Yeah, I don't want intolerance towards any group, not just marginalized.
Thank you.
Any group.
Well, I mean, and here we are. We find ourselves as a marginalized group within Kickstarter because apparently if you are a Republican, you will not be able to. You will be discriminated against. You will be subjugated against. And there will be zero tolerance for your project, especially when it contains no racist or bigoted content whatsoever.
Yeah, and that's the important thing. So when Jawbreakers came out, there was nothing in there. There was nothing bigoted, nothing racist, nothing that was intolerant towards any marginalized groups. And I'll say for Lone Star as well, none of that is in there either. This is so if you're on the left, if you're just hearing about this kind of behavior going on at Kickstarter, or whatever, believe it, guys. We're not out there making racist books. We're not out there making anything that is too, quote, problematic. I mean, we're just making comic books here. There's no political agendas, just people punching people and telling a adventure story.
Well, I mean, the whole thing about Comicsgate is that we need to be able to say, as a group, as an alliance, we need to be able to say, we don't do politics. We don't do religion. We don't do this stuff within our books for exactly this reason. We need to be able to say, this prejudice is unfounded. This prejudice towards us is completely unfounded. I do a comic book about a frog fighting wasps. There's nothing in there. And if I actually wanted to go on Kickstarter and they sent me this same letter, I should be able to know in my heart that this was absolutely 100% a prejudicial decision against me because of my personal politics and not because of the product that I am offering. It's important that we be able to do that. That's why we say, we want to keep our product apolitical. We want to keep it non-divisive for 2 reasons. 1, to shut these cucks up, and then to also just get as many other people. We want everyone, except for these cucks. We want everyone to buy our product. We want to beat them that way. We don't want to beat them by doing the same thing that they're doing, just the opposite side of the coin. Being far right wing and whatever else, and then saying, yeah, well, we're going to do the opposite comics and see how well they sell. They're going to sell about the same. Okay. What we want to do is we want to actually just invite everyone to be a part of what we're doing and have fun. And that's what Comicsgate should be. A book like Graveyard Shift, no politics. You know,
Right.
there's nothing in there that's going to offend anyone unless you don't like gore and dead bodies and shit like that. But why would you buy Graveyard Shift if you?
Yeah, it's not going to make you swing left or right. It's just going to tell you a story. That's it.
That's right. So that's one of the principles of Comicsgate. And the thing is, it's like when it comes to the culture war, the way I see it is I just want to win. I just want to actually win. And winning to me is prosperity. Winning to me is making more money than them. While they go out of business, we win because we're making money. It's not like our message won, our opposite political message won. No, that's not what we should be doing. We should try to win by being prosperous and making the entertainment industry in our one small little way fun and safe and not offensive and not fucking sucking lemons visually for people. It should just kind of be that's the way we want it to be. All right, so let me click play on this. I love the silence.
Hello, everyone, and welcome to another episode of Malin After Midnight. Tonight, I want to talk real quickly about the upcoming Drawn and Quartered event tonight. Tonight is my opportunity to create history with you, the fans. Come in there and vote for me on Drawn and Quartered tonight, and that will be the first ever. They keep saying I'm bribing. I call it campaigning in a row.
Yeah, this is campaigning. There's nothing wrong with this.
Mm-hmm.
And by the way, I will say that these recorded videos, I can do live streams. People were like, "Hey, could you live stream to support Kyle Ritter's Starblades?" And I'd be like, "Yeah, but I mean, really, you know what the thing about it is the reason why Cyberfrog Bloodhoney did really well is I had a recorded ad at the end of every single one of my recorded videos. There was that, hey, IndieGoGo backers, my name's Ethan Van Sciver. Welcome, this is my book Cyberfrog. That was at the end of every single one of my videos. And so people got hit with that constantly when they were watching me complain about Last Jedi. And that really drove traffic towards my IndieGoGo site. Not a lot of people, and relatively speaking, what are we going to do? We're going to get maybe 1,000 people in here watching this at some point. Not a lot of people see this, but I took Starblades. I took Kyle Ritter's trailer and I put it on my channel. And I just said, here, look, Kyle Ritter's Starblades animation for his new IndieGoGo is just off the chain. And then ran it as a video. And it got like, I don't even know how many views. I think it might have gotten 10,000 views. And people went over and backed his book. I mean, we forget.
Yeah, it was a very cool trailer. Yeah, he animated that whole thing by himself, I do believe.
Yeah, he did. So, that kind of thing, I think that works better. So you actually just campaigning in a recorded video
yeah,
is going to work better too.
Yeah.
Yeah. Thanks, Ethan.
Cecil, I'm sorry. I realize you're not talking very much.
No.
Okay.
I have an off-topic question for John. The privacy complaint that was put on the Ed Piskor video by Ed Piskor, obviously. What happened with that?
So far, nothing. So I wrote a reply saying that the person on my thumbnail is a known public figure and has no reasonable expectation to hiding his face or privacy.
Right.
Yeah.
I was really disappointed. Zach actually turned a lot of people onto that channel. It's a good channel. They have good content, but the fact that they did a mass blocking of every Comicsgater just really sucked.
Mm-hmm.
I can't really. I kind of have stopped watching them because of that.
Yeah, they talk a lot about 90s stuff, and like that's right up my alley and most comic fans' alley. And I wanted to sit in there and participate and chat and whatever, but yeah, I can't do it. I'm blocked. So
wait, what is this? I'm not even following this.
Cartoonist kayfabe.
Yeah,
that's
Ed Piskor's YouTube channel. Oh, sorry.
Yeah, Ed Piskor and Jim Rugg have a channel, really good channel. They go through a lot of 90s stuff, and they're knowledgeable. He's like a Kubert School graduate, and he knows a lot of artists. He talks on artists, and he's just interesting to listen to. But I tried to make comments a few times, and I noticed none of my comments were going through. And then I went to go give a super chat, and I was rejected. And I'm like, am I fucking blocked by these guys. And on one of our live streams, I brought that up. So everybody started to try to leave comments, and basically no one could leave a comment that was like following me, or, you know, they probably just went off following Zach. So
yep, I'm blocked, and even Anna was blocked.
Even Anna,
like, Anna of all people.
Yeah, that's weird.
So it was just like, I don't know. It just left a sour taste in my mouth because, you know, first of all, they probably went off Zach as how they blocked anybody following him, but he's the guy who turned most of the people that probably are sub to that channel onto them. Like, that's how I found them. So you know, fuck them. That's horseshit. Ed, don't be a douchebag. Fucking unblock these people.
Yeah, so long story short, I made a video about that blocking because the next day he was doing a live stream. So I went on there, I typed, I tried to super chat to find out if I was blocked. Turned out I was, but in the front of the video for the thumbnail, it's Ed Piskor's face. And as soon as that video was done being aired, I had a privacy complaint from YouTube for the thumbnail. So obviously it had to be Ed Piskor complaining. And so right now that, and like I went through and I started updating my thumbnails and started putting text on them, so they looked a little bit more kind of done up. And but I didn't do the one to Ed Piskor because I didn't want YouTube to come back and be like, "Why'd you change the thumbnail?"
Right.
So because I didn't want to make any mistakes prematurely, like I did with editing out the Charlie XCX part.
I guess we got a talking to from the powers that be because Zach had spoke him. You know, he talked him up. A lot of the Comicsgaters who you know, are subbed to him are because Zach recommended him. I was really early to the, you know, the first couple hundred, you know, subs to them. And I was just, you know, somebody said, hey, these guys like you. So he had to, you know, do some kind of show. He did some kind of show by blocking everybody. It was fucking bullshit. And he's like a punk rock guy. Fuck you.
Yeah. I find it weird. I mean, you know, mass blocking people is a very strange practice. I don't understand it. I completely understand blocking individuals. I do it all the time, and then they celebrate. You know, and that's just every reason to block them. You know, it's like, okay, there are some people who are on Twitter who deliberately and on YouTube too, whose entire purpose is to bother you and to get a rise out of you and all of this stuff. Those people, you know, they get 2 shots at me. You know, that's kind of my standard. You want to come in and be like, you know, call me names, be rude, be horrible. All right, that's fine. And you do it a second time. Okay. You do it a third time, you're blocked. You know, it's like, that's just, you are not criticizing. You are being a dickhead, and you don't really belong on my social media. But critics, I mean, just regular people who are like, you know what, Ethan, you kind of suck. And those people can stay, you know, that's fine. And that's my standard for YouTube too. You know, people who are just obsessively there just to harangue you, just to ruin your day. Those people can go fuck themselves. But I got plenty of critics who don't like me very much. And those people are welcome, you know, and I think that's the standard to go by. Respectful but hateful criticism is fine.
Also, somebody sent a message about what they do. Basically, that's not the only thing they do, but they go through Wizard magazines. So I think they're up to like 30 or 32 now. They go through every issue. They go through every page, and it's pretty interesting. They have pretty good insight. But somebody sent me a message last week that said they got up to a page where there was a Cyberfrog ad, and they just skipped over it like they didn't see it. And I'm just like, I don't know. Like, they're really good content, and if you guys are listening, you have fans. Don't be assholes because somebody, you know, Joe Quesada or some other douchebag pressured you not to fucking, you know, interact with us.
Yeah.
You know, be a man. You know, I have a feeling they were pressured to do it, but either way, it's bullshit. A dead raider, Cecil, why the hell are you drinking? I am drinking. I'm drinking rye right now.
Are you drink? I wish I was thinking about drinking this afternoon, and I didn't. I just had one beer. I went to Chicky and Pete's. I had a nice crab cake sandwich and a large, tall like beer. It was excellent. And I was like, maybe I'm going to spend the rest of the day drinking until I fall asleep, and I never did. And I have to remind myself, this is my time to drink, and I don't. It's hard, man.
I set an alarm if you can on your phone to say
yeah. drinking time is now. Like you're allowed to drink. Like that's a good idea, Cecil.
Yeah.
You know, just let myself.
I have lots of tips like that. I got to catch a plane in a few like 8 o'clock in the morning. So.
Are you flying? Oh, you're in Florida, aren't you, right now?
Florida, yeah.
Oh hell, man, crazy.
You don't want to be awake on that plane, Cecil.
And then no, I won't be. And then tomorrow night we have a big show for Jack Show. It's our Taco Bell eating contest where all 4 of us are going to eat $30 worth of Taco Bell each.
Are you flying?
All food, no drink.
Yeah, I'm going to watch that. I'm not going to participate. I don't think.
And then I have a car video with Jeremy the next day.
Oh, shit. You're going to be messed up. I told Andrew about that.
Awesome.
I said they're doing like, what is it, $32 worth of Taco Bell? Is that the standard?
$30.
$30. Yeah.
$30. I said, yeah, they're you know, the challenge is you have to eat $30 worth of Taco Bell. She goes, and I go, that's disgusting. Like I can't do that. She goes, you could totally do that. And I was like, honey, what? Yeah, she's like, are you going to do it? I'm like, no. And she's like, I don't know why. You could pretty easily do it. I was like, a burrito is 69 cents. Do you see what I'm saying? A burrito is 69 cents. You're going to eat how many?
There's no way. I figured out there's no way you could eat less than like 10 items. Even if you're going for the expensive stuff, it's rough. And like if you do the cheesy gordita crunch, I worked it out. I got a good menu. Everybody's got their own technique or plan.
Yeah.
John, you want to say yours out loud, or you don't want to divulge your?
I'm gonna get all soft taco supremes, which is my taco of choice. Yeah, and I'm gonna eat it as fast as I can.
Back in here.
Zach wants to come in.
Yeah, he says Cecil is slipping into his normal voice. What do you know about my normal voice? What do you know about anything?
Zach, do you want to come in here or no?
Weirdo Ricardo, you don't know anything.
Oh, Comic Book Hut's back, by the way.
I didn't watch.
Oh, nice.
But,
I haven't watched the video yet. I kind of clicked on it real quick, and he was lecturing me about how I should be happy and I shouldn't be fighting with people, which is the lecture I'm getting from people lately. He's like, you should be happy. This should be a moment of celebration. You shouldn't be fighting with people. Well, why? You know, right now people are fighting with me. So what am I supposed to just lay down? It's like, no, I fight back. You know, that's what I do. Okay, so here we go.
Send Zach a link, but make sure he doesn't talk too much.
I don't even know that he wants to come in. Did he say he wants to come in?
No, he's just criticizing me and accusing me.
Okay, I'll send him the link. Hold on a second. Stop sharing.
That I have a fake voice.
Yeah, you don't have a fake voice. That's you know that's your Cecil voice. You're doing okay. Okay, hold on.
Oh, but what I love is in the comments of that video, Mike actually commented and he wrote,
We got to go back to that. I wrote us off the rails with Taco Bell and Ed Pivcore, but we got to get back to the.
You want to talk more about this? All right.
Sorry, sure. Let's finish John's video.
Okay, hold on. Let me send this to Zach first, and we'll get back. I know people were kind of interested in this. I teased that I can explain Mike's situation, and people were like, "Oh, really?"
Zach has insight on this too. Him and John were affected by that.
Oh, sure. Okay. Zach, I'm sending you the link, and if you want to come in, cool. You don't. This is the thing about how you have to treat Zach. Zach can come and go as he wants. He's like a cat. It's like you want to come in. Okay. You don't want to come in. All right, that's fine. You leave when you want. All right. So I just send Zach the link. Back to the video. Oh, how am I going to see if Zach's in here while I'm watching the video? Just endless problems. Zach, if you come in, just say it in the chat. Say, I'm in the waiting room, and I will,
Just write in the chat, and everyone will start to
pester me. That's kind of how it works. All right, let's go.
I need Comicsgate to come in there and help me make this happen. Mike Miller is going to do everything in his power to not make it happen. He talked about stuffing the deck by bringing in some big names on this episode to sway your loyalties.
Hey, so what big names were there?
None. Me.
Oh, okay.
But yeah, you got to have pull to get big names, apparently.
Yeah, okay. Yeah, I mean, we keep hearing these other guys are going to come in. I mean, and there are some people who might come in eventually. There are some people right now that are teeter-tottering around the borders of Comicsgate, and they're just kind of looking to see what angle they should approach. to come in, and that's a lot of the reason why a lot of this stuff is happening right now as well.
By the way, Eric S is chastising us for eating $30 worth of Taco Bell. He says that would feed Mike's kids for a week.
Yeah.
Sorry.
The key thing, I guess, to doing that, by the way, is just to get the high dollar items, right? You go to the menu and you go, what's $7, and get the most,
I'm not going to say what I'm doing, but no, because those are kind of big. I looked at the calorie. Also, I dropped 21 pounds. If we meet up this week, you're gonna be like, wait, you dropped 21 pounds and you're this fucking fat?
Yeah, Andrea, by the way, I have Andrea's permission. I can go to New York City Comic Con.
Let's do this. I was thinking about meeting Jeremy after. He's gonna do Friday at the con. And then I'm going to do like a Friday night car video. And then I was going to try to talk him into getting a steak or something. We'll get, I think he's with Nerdrotic. We'll get a steak and some drinks. And then you could split early.
Yeah, I wouldn't stay the night, but I would come up maybe around noon and just walk around, find you guys. When I say noon, I don't know what day. I mean, Friday? Is that what you're
talking about? Friday or Saturday because, I can't do Thursday because I'm traveling, but you can do Thursday, but
I don't want to do that. I'm going to come up one day, and I will. I'll kind of hang out with you guys. We'll go to the show. Maybe we'll grab a steak in town, some beers. I'll be home at night. The reason why I need Andrew's permission is because it's like, me going somewhere by myself and leaving her at home running the house is not really fair. We have kids.
We'll go to strip club. We'll have a good time.
No, we won't do that, honey. We're not going to do that. Just a good time walking around the show, maybe doing a little bit of live streaming, hanging out with people. It'll be great.
Going the show. I'll meet you guys afterwards. I'll do a car video with Jeremy, and then we'll go get food. I'm not gonna walk around that.
You're not gonna go to the show at all?
I don't have any tickets.
Yeah, well, neither do I. I mean, I just go to StubHub and pick up a ticket. I don't know. I'm not gonna go in without you guys.
All right, I'll go. Well, Jeremy's got the pass for the whole thing, so he's definitely going to be in there. Nerdrotic is there. There's a bunch of guys in there, so I don't know. I'm a little bit shy of my. If I'm walking around with you, everybody's going to realize that it's me. So I got to
wear your mask.
Really? All right.
Everybody else is going to be wearing masks. I mean, they're
steakhouse. Do I have to eat a?
Just get a big fat pair of Ed Piscor sunglasses and a wig.
Maybe I'll get like a Howard Stern nose and a wig. And okay.
Oh, it's funny. Yeah. Okay. Here we go.
Be loyal to me. Vote for me. Vote twice. Vote often. Let's make this a historic moment for Drawn and Quartered. Also, Mike Miller is in the news for other reasons. He was going to launch a second printing of Lonestar, Heart of the Hero, through enemy hands. He was going to use Kickstarter. We had a conversation about this about a week ago, and he was basically laughing it off and making it sound like Kickstarter wasn't so much of the bad guy that, someone like me is making him out to be. So I was kind of laughed at and written off. Fast forward 1 week later, and now Mike Miller is no longer a part of Kickstarter. They kicked him out of the family to host.
I love Mike's.
You can skip that part, Ethan, because you already read that.
Oh, okay.
It's his project. By sending him almost an identical, if not an exact copy of the letter that was sent to Richard C. Meyer regarding our Jawbreaker campaign. So originally Jawbreakers was going to be launched through Kickstarter because it was all people ever knew of. If you said the word crowdfunding, most of the times people would say, are you going to kickstart it? So it was so ingrained, it was the natural area where you would go. You'd say, I'm going to go to Kickstarter. People had barely even heard of IndieGoGo at the time. So over a year ago, Richard and I were launching Jawbreakers, ready to go. And we get almost the exact letter of this. And here's Mike's letter. Hi, Mike. Thanks for sharing your project with us. We've carefully reviewed it against our rules and we're unable to approve it to launch. As a public benefit corporation committed to fighting inequality and creating a more equitable world, Kickstarter does not allow discrimination, subjugation, or intolerance towards marginalized groups.
They don't.
We recommend you review our rules and list of prohibited items to learn more. This decision is non-negotiable. We appreciate your understanding. Regards, Kickstarter, Trust, and safety. So Mike reached out to Kickstarter even after knowing that Kickstarter is against conservatives. If you are not on the left, you are not welcome at Kickstarter. But he still wanted to get their money. So he tried to sneak in behind enemy lines, undercover. He was warned about the predatory behavior of Kickstarter, and he did it anyways because he wanted that cash.
Mm.
And now that avenue of cash is closed, hopefully by tagging in some of these names, Ben Shapiro,
Oh, what a
Steven
weasel.
Crowder, Quarter Black Garrett, who works for Steven Crowder.
Oh, he's such
I'm
a
not
weasel.
sure. Jeremy Boring, co-founder, CEO, God King of Real Daily Wire. So he's getting all the Daily Wire and the Steven Crowder guys to try and cover this to hopefully boost his profits on the second print for Lonestar, when he will probably now just launch it back on IndieGoGo. And
he is.
He is.
Basically, it's another campaign with like 10 different variant covers on it. So if you guys are interested, Mike is not CG. He's not Comicsgate. He's worked very hard in the last few months to distance himself as far as he can from Comicsgate while throwing gasoline, trying to burn Comicsgate to the ground. But if that doesn't bother you, you'd still like the back. I guess Miller, please, by all means, go back Mike's
If that doesn't bother you.
second printing with 10 different variant covers.
Right.
And be sure to go vote for me tonight on Drawn and Quartered. Let's make history together. Let's make it happen. Let's rub it in Mike's face because he deserves it. And so thank you guys all very much. Be sure to subscribe, hit like, ring the bell for notifications. And Donut Earth is real.
I'm back.
What's one?
VealNet in the chat says that. Oh shit! Sorry.
Zach.
John's allergic to Kickstarter.
Oh God.
It ran over his cat.
But there is going to be a ton of new covers. I mean, a ton.
A ton of new covers. I mean, a ton, says Edwin. Is that what he said? Did he say that?
Yeah.
Hold on. John's
John's
laughing.
allergic to Kickstarter. It ran over his cat.
It now ran over your cat, you pussy. Now what?
But there is going to be a ton of new covers. I mean, a ton.
A ton of new covers. Great. Oh, what are we doing? What is going on?
Yeah.
Oh.
And, look, I mean, I feel sorry for Mike on one hand, but on the other hand, it's like, when this happened with Jawbreakers, like Richard and I, we were blown away. We're like, what? What?
Mhm.
Like there was, we were just, we got flanked. We're like, what? How does this happen? What's going on? This is all crazy. I mean, it really took that to kind of wake everybody up to what was really going on. Like it seems so ridiculous. And even Edwin earlier in the video, he's making excuses. He's like, well, basically saying, well, Richard had a lot of baggage with him and, connecting the dots and, wink, wink. So we know Richard's a bad guy. So, but now, hey, everything's different because time.
Yeah,
It's like, look, it's like, dude, no, man, these guys are vicious, man. They're out there, they're sitting, they're waiting. What, you thought it was peacetime? No, man, this is still war.
I will tell you this. I've said this from the start, and I'm going to say it again. There are a lot of people. One of the things that Comicsgate has done is it's made a lot of people comfortable and complacent in that comfort. A lot of people because Comicsgate has become a big army, and we have. I mean, together we're really, really powerful. A lot of people have kind of been like, I'm not being harassed anymore. I'm making good money. Maybe I don't need Comicsgate. Maybe I want to pick on Comicsgate. Maybe I want to go against them. Maybe I want to get out there on my own and see what happens. This is what happens. It's like, no, the world has not changed. You're just with a group that is protective of you right now. It's like you're in a situation where you're going to succeed because we've got a whole club here. We've got a club of people who all have the same goal, and that's to be able to produce comics that do not rely on SJWs at all. Mm-hmm. And I think a lot of people are in here and they're going, things just seem all right. All right, fuck you guys. I never liked you anyway. I'm going to go out on my own. And with that having been said, welcome your boy Zach. Hey Zach.
Hello, Zachary.
Hello, Zach.
Zach sent me a message and said, "No, I'm just checking in. I don't want to come on." But now he's here. Zach, what's up? All right. Well, in any case, Zach sent me a message and he said that, look, the message that Mike got is the exact same message that he and John got way back when. Here he comes.
Oh, good. He's in the window.
Yeah, I think
Can you hear me?
Yeah.
Yeah.
Are you skydiving?
Oh, I got the fan on. Let me turn that off.
By the way, Vilnet.
Yeah, I think the only difference between the two letters was at the end they added that this is non-negotiable. I was like, huh.
Well, that's because Zach went back and argued with him.
Okay, so I'm back. Can you all hear me?
Yeah, perfectly.
So Ethan invited me on, but I was like, I gotta go to sleep. But then I was thinking about something. I actually feel pretty bad because one of the things, over this last year and a half is I keep thinking this shit happened to me, but it happened to John. John's kind of an unflappable guy, so I was like, oh, John's fine. But yeah, it hit us both like a freaking ton of bricks. And Brett Smith too. We were just like flabbergasted when it happened. So I thought maybe the wording was a little different. So I went back and I found the old emails, just sent it to Ethan in Messenger. And it's almost exactly the same, except for the ending that says this is not debatable. At the time back then, they let you, appeal it. And that took like a week. So I actually launched the IndieGoGo during the appeal phase of the Kickstarter because I was like, whatever, I can start this thing like tomorrow on IndieGoGo. And then they got back to me like a couple days later, basically just reiterating the same thing. So I had always interpreted it as like they were like judging like my Twitter behavior or something said in YouTube. Now I'm not so sure. I don't know if it's an actual blacklist or it's the thing of you can't have superheroes fight anyone who isn't white on Kickstarter. Because, Lost Souls was set in Africa. So all of like the warlord soldiers, they're all, black Africans. But then also is the shaman who's like an ally, Zashi who's an ally, Cuffs is, he's American, African-American. So I'm still not sure if it's just like a literal blacklist, like, somebody, whoever, usual suspects contacted them as an in, or if they've just got this politically correct rule that you can't have, what do they say, marginalized people as villains.
You're dreaming if you think they actually read the book. They never look the fucking
Well, here's why I'm sitting here rubbing my chin and thinking about what Zach's saying, because I think my reputation is pretty close to Zach's. And what I do know is that a bootleg version of Cyberfrog showed up on Kickstarter. Remember that? It's like some weird Russian dude did this whole like, hey, it's a copy of the Cyberfrog campaign. He put it over on Kickstarter, which struck me as very strange because I was led to believe the Kickstarter had a very stringent,
Did he use your name?
process. Yeah. It looked exactly like mine. Except it wasn't like, the president of the campaign wasn't Ethan Van Sciver. It was this weirdo. And it raised $40. But I mean, here's the thing, if Kickstarter has such an amazing vetting process, how did that campaign go through and go live? And it took a long time for it to come down, which made me think a couple of things. Like either Kickstarter was fully aware and was fucking with me, or they are, their vetting process isn't as great as they say it is.
They're just running a blacklist, and your name was on it, and they didn't use your name.
Exactly. That's what I was going to say. Exactly.
Or they wait, what? They what? I missed that.
It didn't say Ethan Van Sciver on the account. It said whatever Vodka Productions, whatever the company was.
Yeah.
So it got through because of that.
Oh, that's an interesting thing. Somebody else had a campaign bootleg too, and I don't know who it was. A Graveyard Shift?
I thought it was Graveyard Shift, but I can't remember exactly. But I do remember a second one. No, it might have been Mitch Brett. It might have been Red Rooster a copy,
Red Rooster.
or maybe. Or
Yeah, I don't
Demo
remember. I thought
copy.
there were like 2 or 3 though. Yeah, 2 or 3 though.
Yeah, well, they did it to me twice. They did it for my Vampirella cover too, I think, or they did it for something. I got hit with that situation twice, and the second time I just let it go. I didn't even care. I'm not going to sit there and argue with Kickstarter. It's a bootleg thing. It's not my problem. It's your problem. So I let that one go. But so that this is the question. But I know for a fact that of course and SJWs will tell you this. They'll brag about it. Kickstarter is no man's land for non-SJWs. And they love that about Kickstarter. They love it. All right. So basically the next step from this, I think Mike had a good plan here. Mike is devious. I will say, it's like he's turning lemons into lemonade. Go to the press.
You want me to take a guess at what your guess is going to be?
Yes.
I think that what you're about to imply is that Mike knew that he would get rejected from Kickstarter, or that the possibility was there, and that then he would use his contacts like Shapiro, Steven Crowder, and whatnot to help elevate himself as he relaunches on IndieGoGo or another platform, or to just help elevate his own profile.
Well, see, that was the other side of this. That was his other choice. That's Plan B. I don't think that was Plan A. I don't think that was Plan A at all, because at the same time, here's the thing: IndieGoGo isn't going to cash him out until he fulfills those other campaigns. Do you understand? Kickstarter would have. So this is a Plan B, and Plan B is going to be, all right, look, we're going to get a lot of attention, et cetera, et cetera. Kickstarter rejects injustice artist Mike S. Miller's Lonestar for discrimination, subjugation, or intolerance towards marginalized groups. So Mike's saying, please, if you want to do it,
that's their blacklist code.
Yeah.
It would be funny if they accidentally said the truth. They're like, you're rejected because you're on our blacklist as provided by usual suspect X. And like, oh, we accidentally hit send on that. We were supposed to do find or replace.
Yeah. All right. So we've got, I don't know who else. John Posiak or Posobiak or whatever that guy's name is. He said, this is wrong.
Is that guy a big deal or not? Because I know he has an IndieGoGo, and last I checked it I don't really keep track of the political blogosphere or whatever. I kind of vaguely knew that name, and then I know he has an IndieGoGo, but it's like not doing that great. Is he a big deal or not?
I think so, but I don't know why. I think he's like Mike Cernovich, kind of, and I think he's a kind of internet famous conservative who has written a book, is a journalist for one of these sites, like Red State or something like that. And he follows me. He retweets my stuff a lot, but I don't really know who he is. I know who Mike Cernovich is, who also retweets my stuff. He has a book called Guerrilla Mindset,
He's at 22,221 backers.
How much?
22,000 with 221 backers.
I mean, that's not bad. How long does he have left?
19 days.
Yeah, no, that's really good, actually.
It had a really slow start, like really slow.
Yeah.
But the art looks awesome. It's Sergio Cariello and Brett Smith.
Oh shit! Yeah,
and I think Eric Weathers. Yeah, I think Eric Weathers is
the
doing the lettering. Yeah.
Yeah. What is the book called?
Agent Poso. Chuck Dixon did the script.
Self-insert. Okay. Make it happen. I'm doing a book called Ethan Man. I'm doing a book called EVS Man. It's just gonna be it's gonna be me. It's gonna be about me as a hero.
Do y'all remember the period, it was about 10, 12 years ago, where like every rapper and actor was somehow had a comic, and they were all awful, just terrible.
It never worked out. There were a couple that got a hold of me. Shaquille O'Neal one time asked me if I wanted to do a comic book about him.
Was it called Shack Man?
It would have been something like that. No, it was called Diesel Dog, but it was about him. He would have been Diesel Dog.
Did you talk on the phone?
No, I'm in person.
Yeah.
He lived in Orlando at the time.
Why does Shaq's like what, like 7.5 feet tall?
Dude, he's huge. Yeah.
Why does he talk like he's 500 feet tall?
You don't want to do a combo.
That's how he talks.
That's how a 500 tall person would talk.
Yeah. He drives. I mean, he drives the front of a Mack truck. That's his car.
Shock man.
And it's got all these lights on it and shit. He's driving the white front of a Mack truck, and I don't know how you miss him. Do you
remember like 10 years ago he was like becoming a sheriff's deputy somewhere?
Roland Holmes says Mike just launched his new campaign a few minutes ago.
Okay.
Is it called Mike Man?
No, it's called Lonestar. The Grift Continues. It is the first book all over again with 10 new variant covers, from what I understand. Lots of variant covers.
I'm doing a variant cover.
Tons.
Variant cover by Shaq.
Do I talk about? I don't talk about this. I don't think I'm going to talk about this.
What do you talk about?
Shaq Man?
No. Diesel Dog. No, I don't know. I was gonna totally get into what Mike's doing, and now that Zach's here, I don't know if I'm going to.
Don't be afraid.
Yeah, don't.
Fear is the mind killer.
Don't judge him. Don't judge him too much, Zach, when he's big off.
No, it makes Zach complicit in this.
Why is Cecil's audio so bad? Is he still on vacation?
Yeah, I'm on vacation.
How do you go? Isn't this that subplot from Seinfeld? How do you go on vacation when you don't have a job? Like you're always at the beach. You went to another beach?
Yeah, it's a lot easier when you don't have a job.
I love Cecil's life. It's amazing. Hey, Zach.
But you left the New York City area when it got like the warmest it's ever been in like 500 years.
I heard, but the water is so warm in Florida right now. It's like almost like 85 degrees. I'm just sitting my ass in the ocean every day for the last 5 days.
Vasan Kasai says, Zach complaining about someone's audio? That's rich. Fair enough.
Is my audio good right now?
Your audio is great right now. Appreciate it.
It was bad yesterday.
Yeah. Sticky Wicked says there's only 9 variants, Ethan. Gosh. Are there 9? Should we go look at it or no?
Sure.
Look at the Agent Poso, because I got to say, I don't know this Posobiec guy from a hole in the wall, but like everything looks great. The art, the coloring, even like the logo looks freaking awesome. I think it's my guy who has 5 different names.
Okay.
He does my logos. He does the Agent Poso logo.
Yeah, let's look at that one first. We haven't looked at any IndieGoGo campaigns lately, so let's see what this
I mean, it's even if you don't know this Agent Poso guy, he's not actually Agent Poso, Posobiec guy from A Hole in the Ground. Like, it's a Chuck Dixon script, and it's like Sergio Cariello and Brett R. Smith. Like,
yeah, no, the art looks great. I'm like looking at it and I'm going, you wanted a bunch of creative people to write you as James Bond. I say, okay, all right.
Isn't he? Yeah, he's got like a zillion followers on Twitter. This guy, he's like a political guy.
Yeah,
but why does he only have 221 backers?
I think you nailed it. It's having 1 million Twitter followers is not as awesome as it sounds.
No, they have to be engaged. You have to actually,
and also they have to be comic book fans. You're like, hey, I'm doing a vanity project where I'm a secret agent. And I go, hi, yeah, okay.
Well, a comic where I'm the character. Is that a vanity project?
No, in your case, well, we can't discuss why, but no, it's not.
It might not be Comicsgate because although it's not political, it's heavily religious. It's pages of me debating the Pope on Vatican II.
Oh God, I would love to see that.
Bring back Latin. That's all I say.
All right, let me watch this guy's video here. Let's see how this goes.
Agent Poso?
Yeah.
Good morning, sir.
Oh my God.
Downloading mission details. Additional security measures required. Voice print identified. Communications coming online. The task force is in place. Welcome back, Agent Poso.
Oh, is Brett drawing it?
I mean, he said Brett Smith first. That's weird.
Yeah, as artist.
Brett's the artist.
Okay, let's
He's a
keep
cool
watching.
Wait. Did they just credit the videographer before the penciler and inker?
That's right. Well, he credited Brett first, and I assume Brett is just coloring it. I don't think Brett's drawing it.
No, he's coloring it.
Artist. Sergio was one artist, and then Brett was one artist.
Yeah, like first came Brett, which means that Brett. Well, I guess Posobiec doesn't really understand the order in which artists and writers and everything are credited on a project. So to him, it's like, well, Brett's my friend, and so he gets first credit. This guy who did the videographer, he made me look cool, so I'm going to give him the second credit. And then yes, Sergio Corello is the guy who's actually drawing.
That is a good point. It's a normie's perspective on comics.
Right.
At the end, he's like, "Wait, who drew it? Salvador something?" They're like, no. There's a very established over 80 years rank structure for, and it's basically like if you guys were on a ship and it was sinking, who gets into the lifeboat first? You got to put the writer in first, and you put the line art guy, and you put the colorist, and then the letterer, and the editor.
Yeah. Anna's in the chat. Anna, do you want to come in? If you want to come in, I'll send you the link. I don't know if you're working on another thing tonight. All right, so let's watch the rest of this. You're exactly right. Like he doesn't know the order of this. Where's the writer? Chuck Dixon, artist.
Yeah, this is Normie 101. I think it's going to be like from the creator of Garfield. You know how normies think that everyone invented it's like, oh yeah, Stan Lee, he invented Garfield, right?
Yeah.
Chuck Dixon, the creator of Snoopy.
All right, let's see. This is bad.
It's real bad.
Jack Posobiec, creator.
The guy who was the creator, right? It was like in the corner and it immediately disappeared. Like it was barely on the screen.
They're going away pretty quick. The credits. Donut Swan, thanks for $20. Cecil is too busy sniffing the cloth diaper of his T-boy from Turkey to follow his true biggest fan on Twitter. I want to bet against Jack in the TB challenge, Taco Bell challenge. My $100 plus 30 versus their books, which don't cost a lot to print.
Just followed him.
All right.
And and his good girlfriend Miss Katie sent me a pair of her panties. So they sent me a beautiful bottle of whiskey too. So I should have been following him. That's my bad.
Okay.
Very kind. Very kind.
Did Anna answer if she wants to come in yet or no? I don't know. Watch the chat and let me know, guys. Okay, here we go. He credited the video guy twice. Oof, that hurts my head.
Can't see anything.
This video is a disaster.
Thank God I had a tab.
I can't see it. Like it's bothering me.
Overproduced. I was following the line and the little squares and who was creating. I didn't hardly see any art.
Yeah,
it was forgettable.
Yeah, the art was in the background, like it was diminished into the background. So thank you for your support. $5, you get nothing. $25 is the book. He's doing the thing, by the way. This is not good. Like Zach will tell you.
40 acres and a mule perk.
Yeah.
Emancipation Proclamation perk.
Cecil, can you wing Anna the link to this, please?
No problem.
Okay, appreciate it. All right, thank you. All right. In any case, this is not a good thing to do when you're doing these campaigns. Is the cutesy names,
Mm-hmm.
Also, is the non-perk entry level, is that still a thing? Does anyone do that anymore?
Well,
that's
no.
what I call that the easy out, and that's a campaign killer because then people go, "Yeah, screw it, I'll just give this one, whatever, $1, $5, whatever, I'm done."
That's not what this gets used for now. And this is the thing. Like there will be people who want to harass your campaign. So if you donate $1 to the campaign, you're allowed in the comments. So I've got people who will donate $2 to Cyberfrog in order to get in the campaign and start harassing me in the comment section. And they go, "What? I'm a customer. I'm a customer. Why can't you deal with the bans? I'm a customer." And it's like, for God's sake. So that's what you should never. If there's some way to cancel donations, I mean, that's what I would like to do because it's bullshit. These people, these tiers right here: $25 for the book, $45 for two books. Red Pill a Buddy. I don't know what this is. You get a badge, maybe. Mission Officer, $100. I don't know what any of this is, and I'm not clicking on it because then I'm going to dox myself. Red Pill a Buddy Deluxe. There's not a lot here. All right, it's just the book. It looks like $7,500. All right, so $20,000. You get to
got one.
Yeah, somebody claimed it.
Wow.
What about the 20,000? Go down to the 20,000.
Yeah, this is look. You
Zero.
Zero, but there's 0 out of 1. So you get to hang out with everybody, right? Like you get to hang out with Brett, Chuck, Sergio. I don't know what this convention center is here.
There's literally a baby on there.
You get to hang out with Posobiec and his wife at the Trump International Hotel, I think.
Where is that at?
I don't know. It's international.
Is that the one in Ireland?
No, probably the one in DC.
There will be somebody who donates this, though. There will be. And obviously, look, there's somebody who bought the $7,500 tier, $4,500, $2,000, 1 out of 7 claims. So, I mean, by the way, having big money like this, big money tiers is a good idea. If you can think of something good enough to sell, it is a good idea. There are people who want to support you. But then you go to this and you go, subtract 7,500 from this, essentially. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
So I don't know. We could
sell my body on the next one for like $1 million.
$7,500 tier for Cecil cash grab. I'll blow you.
I'm still getting over being sick. All right, so I don't know. I'm not. I would say Jack Posobiec, a good idea for doing a comic book, but I wish it wasn't about you. I wish it wasn't a self-insert comic. I don't take those seriously.
Well, I think the biggest problem is like you can put any celebrity, like even Mike.
Zach, what's going on?
I went out to the living room so I can drink out here, but there's all kinds of fans and AC, and I'm turning everything off.
You guys sound like you're shredding documents. What kind of boiler room?
But even Mike thought that he was going to get a big push when Ben Shapiro mentioned his book. I think it was in January, and it barely registered a blip. I think the main thing is that you have to push. Like if Ben Shapiro was really passionate about a comic book project and pushed it every single day, I think it'd do very well. But for someone just to kind of mention it from time to time, or even passively, I think that's why these celebrities can't actually move product.
Didn't even like Donald Trump Jr. promoted it, and it's nobody cares when, like you said, it has to be repeated and it has to be passionate. Just getting Jimmy Kimmel to say, back Agent Poso, like no, one sale.
Right. Well, I mean, you're promoting to people who don't care. I mean, that's the thing. Like, the thing, what's different about Comic Artist Pro Secrets versus, say the Ben Shapiro show is that we might have a fraction of the listeners, but every single one of them will buy your comic book. Ben Shapiro does that. He might have 1 million people watching his show. I don't know how many he's got watching his show, but maybe not that many. But he might have an awful lot of people watching one of his shows, but none of them like comics. So he can talk about it till he's blue in the face. People go, I don't care. I'm listening to Ben Shapiro's opinions on politics. I'm not listening to his opinions about comic books because fuck that. All right, so let's look at Mike's new campaign here.
Somebody posted a picture of Ben Shapiro's sister.
Is she hot?
Holy smokes. Yeah, I'd like her to campaign for me. She's got some rack on her.
I like Jewish girls. I don't know what that is. I dated a bunch of them growing up. Well, I married one of them, not currently, but I don't know. Jewish girls are nice. All right, so here we go. Heart of the Hero, second print, Lonestar. The campaign that was too controversial for Kickstarter is on IndieGoGo with a vengeance, John.
So, did we ever get a determination if this was a purposeful triggering of a rejection for, or you think it was just like the money payout thing?
It was the payout. I'm positive it's the money payout thing, and Mike just calculated that. Look, it was going to go one way or the other. And this is the thing. So either he's going to get on Kickstarter and he's going to, the Kickstarter thing was a way to kind of say F you to Comicsgate. If
Doug Tanapo, did he do a Kickstarter or he was IndieGoGo?
Doug was on IndieGoGo. I think he might try, like he might be part of this Kickstarter kind of push, this F Comicsgate thing.
No, what I'm saying is if he's ever done a Kickstarter, I would assume he'd be on the same blacklist.
Yeah, I guess. But he's done Kickstarters before. I don't know if he can do Kickstarters now. We'll see.
Have you ever looked at the actual Kickstarters that are out right now?
Dude, they're shit.
80% of them are healthy at every size lesbian anthologies. One was literally lesbians riding bicycles. That was the theme. I'm not kidding.
Yeah, I know. I said that earlier. I mean, they're the worst. Think about like what gets published right now in SJW, in the SJW mainstream. Think about like that, and then ask yourself what might have gotten rejected.
Yeah, that is perfect. That is perfect. What is too trashy to get published by Black Mask?
There it is.
And that's like every Kickstarter.
It's riding bicycles without seats.
My favorite one was, it was called Faster Than Light, y'all. It was the idea that there was you could build spaceships for $300. So it was like the people could go into space. And I just imagined all these SJWs just like starving and asphyxiating after like 3 days. I'm running out of supplies. All
right, let's see here. Lonestar.
Mike has a video too.
You want to watch the video?
Sure.
Okay, hold on. That's a good idea. I didn't notice.
It's going to be good. His son did it probably. So.
Yeah. Hey, Anna.
Hello.
Are you ready for tomorrow?
Oh, Anna's here just in time to roast this video if it needs roasting.
Oh, yeah.
If it needs roasting.
All right, let's go to this thing here.
The Blacklist universe.
Oh shit! It's Edwin again. Can I just say that Edwin's voice is overrated? I don't know where this idea came from that Edwin's got the perfect radio voice. It's weird. I'm gonna start it over again. All right, here we go.
The Blacklist universe. You'll believe in heroes again.
You'll believe in heroes again.
From the creative mind of Mike S. Miller. The artist who brought you some of the most iconic moments in DC's Injustice Comics comes a brand new series full of heroes, villains, action, and suspense. Lonestar, Heart of the Hero. You've seen
Is somebody doing that?
He's doing the whistle and the voice of Edwin's voice. Not me.
I love Edwin's voice. I think he's a better narrator than he is like trying to pitch something. But as like when we did that Christmas Carol, it was great. Like as a narrator, it's fantastic voice, perfect.
Yeah, like I think he would be good narrating like radio episodes of the Waltons. You know what I mean? Like I don't know if he's great about like heroes, justice. I don't know if that's really his bag, but he's got his voice is deep. It's tremulous. So that's why people keep asking him to do this. All right.
Wonder Woman to life in ways you could never imagine before. Now witness as he brings a new vision to the world, a hero we can all look up to in this time of division and strife. Join Lonestar and his corps of elite unknown soldiers as they seek out and destroy the evil creatures that haunt the nightmares of men. Lonestar, Heart of the Hero. Only on IndieGoGo.
So I got a question.
A what?
I got a question. Does anyone click on the videos when you go to an IndieGoGo or Kickstarter? I never do, ever. Unless it's Kwanzaa, because I know it's going to be super.
I used to click on them all the time, but then one guy just had like a chain link fence put garbage against it for 45 minutes, so I never click on them anymore.
That's right. I remember that. I used to, yeah, but now like I'm involved in so many IndieGoGo campaigns, like promoting them. I rarely do anymore unless there's a reason, and I guess this is a reason.
I wonder if that Antifa clip was what got him hit.
What Antifa clip?
There's a newsreel style. They did it in black and white, but
Ethan, you didn't notice when it went live action and there were rioters?
Oh shit! I was like, am I hallucinating this? Hold on a second.
Ethan's watching it with his eyes closed.
Yeah, I'm listening to Edwin's voice and I'm hypnotized.
it was about three-fifths of the way through. It was just a little short clip.
All right, there's still more. Why is there still more? All right, let's go.
Subscribe to Mike on YouTube at Blacklist Universe.
All right, so it's just please subscribe.
I hate that Edwin stopped whistling on his S's since I started making fun of it. I love it.
All right,
Yeah, I can't make fun of them because I'm 10 times worse. So,
all right, so let's see the Antifa thing here.
The Blacklist Universe.
By the way, is this the same video? Is this the same video that was up, or is this new? Because it doesn't talk about this is a second printing and there are new variant covers. You know, I don't know. Did you guys ever know?
New. I don't remember this for the other one, but I guess I could have missed it.
All right.
You'll believe in heroes again.
Oh, corny.
From the creative mind of Mike S. Miller.
What is that? Marijuana smoke?
Some of the most iconic moments in DC's Injustice.
You know
Comics.
what's funny about this is, like, I really thought he was going to pay him a compliment here. I want to rewrite this for Mike because it's like, all right, so he goes from Mike S. Miller, the creative mind of Mike S. Miller, the artist of some of the most iconic moments, and you go, really? Of DC Comics, and you're like, wow, Injustice series book. Okay, there were only 3 artists on that book. You know what I mean? So, like, probably he just, randomly he should have just said the most iconic moments of DC Comics history.
The big one is the Superman with the hand to the chest of the Joker. I've seen that a million trillion times.
Yeah, people like that. All right, so watch
creative mind of Mike S. Miller.
You notice that the Joker's expression is like he's kind of into it. He's like, oh yeah.
I noticed that Superman looks really skinny and small. That's one thing that bothered me about it.
The artist who
see what I mean?
Some of the
look, Joker's loving it.
He's like, ooh, Joker just blew a load. I mean, Joker's like, Joker's digging it. It's kind of spooky looking.
Yeah, penetration is penetration.
Yeah, make out already.
Get rid of this. How do I get rid of this?
Brian Kreisgau gave you $5 to say, take a look at his 6-gun gorilla video. He prayed.
Oh my God, that was so New York State area. Gorilla.
Mm.
Do you say Italy?
Fuck you, Gorillo.
Gorilla.
I'm drunk. Shut up. Anyway, he did a good video for his thing, is what he's saying.
All right.
Most iconic moments in DC's Injustice Comics comes a brand new series full of heroes, villains, action, and suspense. Lonestar, Heart of the Hero. You've seen Mike bring Batman, Superman, and Wonder Woman to life.
That's a good Wonder Woman.
In ways you could never imagine before. Now witness as he brings a new vision to the world, a hero we can all look up to in this time of division.
What was your Uber? There it is.
Time of division, and it's like base Stickman beating the shit out of Antifa or something. What goes on here?
What was your Uber specific? You're like, he looks like the guy from A Christmas Story who said something.
Yeah, like Mike created the grown-up version of the kid that was in line to meet Santa Claus with Ralphie, who says, "I like the Wizard of Oz." I like
that's like a Dennis Miller gets that reference and no one else does.
Everybody knows that movie.
I don't know it. I saw that movie like 3 times last Christmas, and I don't know who you're talking about.
Anna, do you get it?
Get what? The
Anna's-
antique stuff or what?
Anna's drawing.
Have you ever seen Christmas Story?
Yes.
All right, you know when Ralphie is going up to see Santa Claus, he's in line and there's like a kid behind him and wearing goggles and like a pilot's cap.
Let me Google it. It's been years.
I have it pulled up.
That's not a major character.
I have
What are you
it.
talking about? That's an important part of the movie, Zach. And you know, for goodness
If you
sakes,
want to say like the elf,
here he is, right here.
Elf.
This is Lonestar as a kid, right here.
Yeah.
Okay, you got it.
I don't remember that. I probably saw it 4 times last Christmas.
Play it.
Young Lonestar. I'm not going to play it because I think I'll probably get struck. But yeah,
You do 5 seconds.
he goes.
No, they got those scrapers and they're freaking awesome. I've seen people who do like 2 bars from a jingle and they get zapped.
This was my favorite part of the movie. I laughed so hard when I saw this kid with his like he's got his little aviator goggles down and he's just smiling. He's like, I like the Wizard of Oz. And Ralphie, who's a little bit more worldly than him, just looks at him and goes, yeah. And he goes, I like the Tin Man. Ralphie's just like, fuck. I can relate to that scene for so many reasons as a kid. Like I felt like I was surrounded by dipshits like this, you know, and me just being like, yeah, okay, move along, pal. But yeah, my God. So that's Lonestar right there. That's young Lonestar.
The biggest thing that I noticed when I watched that is the age discrepancy between his dad and his mom. It's like 20 years plus.
No, but that's because dad works in a factory. You know, dad
is probably like 42. That's what you're saying?
Yeah. Like you look at people our age from, you know, a couple of generations ago. You know,
when they were 28, they looked 45 years old or 50.
Yeah, 100%.
No, I agree. If we live to be 100, we'll never look as old as a 25-year-old from 1920.
Yeah.
These guys have like rock jaws, lines in their face. It's like, wow, when the fuck am I going to get that old? And I'm fucking old.
I like Dad on the Christmas Story.
There is no continuity to the Cecil character. He'll claim to be freaking 38, and then he's talking about Schneider from One Day at a Time, you know, the next second.
Kick Zach. Valerie Bertinelli was hot. She was married to Eddie Van Halen.
A common thing the average 34-year-old knows about.
34.
All right, let's let this run. I want to see the Antifa thing.
I'll be 34 in a couple of years.
Jesus Christ. That's what did it, right? Right there, that clip.
No, I agree. They never watched. They didn't look.
They never looked at a minute.
He's on a list.
Yeah.
And it's. I mean, I got a short list of people I think are connected to Kickstarter. Kickstarter's in New York City. Kwanzaa has media connections out the wazoo. That's my most likely suspect.
I feel like trying it. You know what I mean? Like, I feel like trying it just to see what would happen.
I actually tried it like a couple months ago. I think I told you about this. I just tried to put like a blank, and it won't even let me like hit return. It does like, you ever have the websites that aren't set up correctly, so they do this weird error and it shows, and it's supposed to be for like the back end. Mm-hmm. Like it won't even let me like name a potential project.
We should do it live. You know, I should actually launch a Cyber Frog.
Go on, do it right now.
My personal information. Like, let me think about that. We're gonna go through this first, and I might do it because I'll launch like a little mini campaign for like the Ash Can and just see what happens. I have a feeling it'll get kicked. You know.
What is that political commissar they have? Camilla Zhang.
Yeah.
Call it the CZ edition.
The Camilla Zhang, the CZ edition.
Okay, so what do you think she makes per year? 105,000?
I have no idea what she makes.
Living in New York City, she's kind of in I don't know what her. I'm going to estimate 85,000 to 105,000. How much has she cost Kickstarter?
A lot.
Because we all would have been doing Kickstarters.
Yeah, but Kickstarter doesn't care because what Kickstarter is saying is that they're committed to, political activism. Like they don't care
So
about.
I actually looked into the Public Benefits Corporation. It is, first of all, very few corporations have it. It's basically insane. It says we can make decisions that cost us money, and then you can't remove the board of directors. One of the big things when people say it's like, why is X, Y, and Z? Why are they cutting this division? It's because when you're on the board of directors, when you're on the corporate board, you have to be maximizing and increasing profits. No one wants to hear, hey, we made the same as we did last year. Good job. Hell no. You get kicked right off there. Like you got to see growth every single year. So they can have like negative growth or just like, hey, yeah, so we don't have any Comicsgate books. You put me, Malin, what is that, like $2 million in sales?
Mm-hmm.
Way more than that, probably 2.5 million.
Yeah.
And then their percentage, which I heard is 10% now. I think IndieGoGo is 7%. Somebody told me Kickstarter is 10%. So I'm not too good at math, but what is that? 250,000?
Yep.
Okay.
So double whatever Camilla Zhang's likely income is lost because they got some blue-haired, like cliche SJW to be a freaking political commissar, to be the son.
Yeah,
of
her hair
Amina.
is blue too, right?
It's literal. And then there's this whole thing about like the weirdest thing is it's kind of like SJW Inception. Asian female characters having blue or purple hair is like such a cliche that it's now a racist trope. Like if you go to like Big Hero 6 and like you can Google this, there's like dozens of examples in cartoons and comics. And then literally she's
Gen 13.
Yeah, she's literally the cliche. And yeah, congratulations, Camilla. You've cost you twice your yearly salary. You've cost your company that.
Yeah. By the way, people in the chat are going, what happened to being true to IndieGoGo? Yeah, I don't think I would. I think I would cancel the campaign. I wouldn't go through with it. I just want to see if I could get a campaign up there.
Yeah, it was the same for me. It was just an experiment. I wasn't going to do anything.
Yeah. We wouldn't. My God, it's just a question. All right, so let's scroll down.
Get my campaign up there. I'm not a Nazi like you guys.
Let's see. We got some. Are these variant covers? Oh yeah, this is Matt Weldon, I guess.
What is the deal with him? I've heard that name a bunch. I've seen some good art. He does Punchline.
Yeah, for Antarctic Press.
Yeah, I actually checked out.
Yeah, we met him in Texas. Zach, remember?
Yeah, it sounds familiar. He's actually his sales at Antarctic are solid. For an Antarctic book, I think it's like the #1 seller for that company.
Yeah, no, look at his art.
I don't think he's making it. Yeah, I don't think he's making any money off of it, but well, he's not really. I don't know if he's really Comicsgate, but he is a real talent. Love his work. Great guy too.
Oh yeah, it's
Mormon.
Good.
Mormon.
Is he Mormon?
Yeah, Mormon.
Oh, I didn't know that. We got a lot of Mormons in Comicsgate. It's interesting.
Yeah, I learned that Mormons actually take a little bit of offense to being called Mormons. Is that anything known to you?
Shorthand, which some people just go, yeah, I'm Mormon, but we prefer to be called LDS, Latter-day Saint. I say we because even though I'm not a practicing Mormon, I was raised Mormon, and so I consider myself an ethnic Mormon. It doesn't go away. You're blonde haired, blue eyed, and you were raised in the church. So, but
Mormons are great people. Great people. Never had a problem with a Mormon. I can say that.
Oh, I love Mormons.
I love it when they come to my door. They're very polite. They're very nice. They dress well.
I don't like the missionaries. I like just regular Mormon families. I think they're super kind, warm. And again, here's one thing I'll say, my family, when I was growing up, my dad was just not making any money. We were so poor.
Okay, I got to call an audible because I've been thinking about this repeatedly throughout the day. You grew up in like abject Oliver Twist style poverty, right? Can you hear me?
Yeah, I can hear you. I said, yeah.
And you said your house was infested with cockroaches.
Yeah, the first one. Yeah.
What were the cockroaches eating?
God only knows. But that's a good. That's a good double standard. What do cockroaches eat anyway?
Other
eat
bugs.
You too
food.
good for what they're eating?
Oh my god! One time I woke up and this is so gross. Like there was a mop, like in a mop bucket, and it was like half full of water. Somebody was mopping the floor, and the roaches. I turned on the light, and there were roaches feeding off of the sponge of the mop.
Mm-hmm.
And I was like, "Oh god damn it!" It was so disgusting. So
Zach is right, though. The roaches are wasting their time in poor people's house with no food. They got to go to rich people's house with like full pantries. You've got to unionize the roaches, Zach.
This is the freaking. I mean, I'm not even. This isn't even a bit. It kept popping into my head. I was like, "What are they eating? Are they eating other roaches? Are they eating the roaches that starved coming in for food that wasn't there?"
A lot of brothers and sisters. I mean, not to be gross, but like kids would leave Cheerios on the floor. It would be like that. There was food, but it wasn't. There wasn't a lot of food, and everybody was always kind of like, "Hey."
You had
So
kids there, right?
I have 8 brothers and sisters, and I'm the second oldest.
Hey, so do you remember that 1990s MTV produced movie, something about cockroaches in a house?
Joe's
Joe's apartment.
So was that like your version of Saving Private Ryan, or no, Schindler's List?
I didn't think it was funny. I was like, "That's disgusting," and I remember that. I remember seeing the trailer on MTV and being like, "God damn it, that's not funny at all." But yeah, so in any case, what I was trying to say was the church helped us out. The church has a really good welfare program, and they fed my family an awful lot. So I'm not going to say bad things about Mormons. I try to stay loyal to people who have helped me out. I think that's a good standard. Okay, so we got Kanan White cover. We got a Kyle Ritter cover. We got.
Wait. Slow down. What is this? So there's 9 of them. Who is it?
Aaron Lepresti. These are all conservatives. Randy Green.
He's good.
Elliot Fernandez, Kevin Sharp, Alejandro Mirabel, Kanan White. This is the Kanan White piece that Kanan White is so awesome.
Yeah, definitely.
Matthew Weldon, and then you get a new Mike Miller cover.
Tony's always sending me pages like as soon as they're done. He sends me. They're really, really good.
Yeah.
Who did that first cover?
That'd be Mike.
Mike, how dare you? How dare you? That is your cover, Ethan.
It is?
That is the same composition of your cover. That flare in the chest piece is the same thing that Kyle did. You had vampires down below. Now he's got Lonestar fighting people. That's your cover.
It's similar, yeah. I like mine better.
Son of a bitch.
I was thinking the same thing when I saw the Agent Poso cover. I was like, that's Ethan's cover.
Are you okay? Here's the Kanan cover close up here.
Damn, look at that.
Kanan makes this dude look beast, and I guess the best way to draw Lones.
So should he be screaming, "I like the Tin Man"? Tin Man's back.
Yeah, John did the same thing. When John did his Lone Star cover, the best way to do Lone Star is to get rid of that, get rid of the mask or rip up the costume. Because John,
but Kanan makes it work there. Yeah,
Kanan makes him beast, man. I mean, that's
the only time that mask looked cool.
Are you still talking to him about Fearsome?
Sure, yeah, but he's got to finish Brand first. The problem is, casting no aspersions here. There are people who keep distracting Kanan from getting his work done, and Kanan really needs to finish Brand. And a lot of people, one of the problems with Comicsgate is that there are a lot of avenues for chasing short money, and a lot of times people, because look, it's not steady work. You really are. You're doing one book and you're expecting a big load of money to live on so that you can do the next book, and that's kind of the model for Comicsgate, but. A lot of people are starting out kind of in the red. You know what I mean? So basically, people are now chasing short money, chasing little avenues for making a little bit more money here and there, and then it takes them longer to get their book done. So that's the thing with Kanan. I'm saying, look, we'll talk about Fearsome, but we're not going to put pen to paper until Brand is finished. Finish Brand, and once you finish Brand, I'm going to bump up your page rate. I'm going to pay Kanan a lot of money. I'm going to pay Kanan a load of money, a lot of money. That's my promise to him and to people who back this campaign. He's going to get paid like I did at DC Comics, and I'm going to pay him in installments when he turns in 5 pages, and he's not going to have to worry about money anymore. There are going to be a lot fewer, Kanan doing drawings, auctions, blah blah blah. No reason to do that. This guy should be producing comic books. That as soon as he's finished brand, as soon as he's ready to go on a new project, I'm going to ask him to focus solely on Fearsome, no other extra side projects, and pay him really, really well. So it's no longer a problem.
Fearsome was the book that I wanted to be your first book, because I remember you're all into that Psycho and everything, and you're talking about that. And it sounded like you really had a story.
Oh yeah. No, Fearsome is here's the thing. Fearsome's a good story. And I was talking to Chuck Dixon about writing it. I don't know if I want to do that. I don't know if I want to be the guy who just has ideas and delegates them entirely to other people.
I think it's a great idea. Chuck Dixon, I've handed him. So I started handing off story ideas because sometimes I just have concept. Chuck Dixon has developed 3 or 4. Mike Barron took one. Do it. Basically, give him a framework. Chuck Dixon is freaking gold, and he can do all kinds of different tones. It's not just like one set tone of a Chuck Dixon story. He can do comedy. I've never read him do horror, but I guarantee he can do it.
Yeah, I might. I'm not. I don't know. Here's the thing. Here's why I have shell shock over that kind of a thing. I had a story called Bastardized, a comic book called Bastardized. And it was a very specific story. DC Comics bought it. They were going to run it through Vertigo. And, I kind of hired Joe Harris to write it.
Okay, it's Joe Harris.
Well, I'm just saying, and Gail Simone, same shit. You give them an idea and they take it off into the ethers of, it's so unfocused. And it's
I've handed him a couple, 3 ideas. And he has put in new elements. But he sticks to the, we called it the commander's intent, in the military. He doesn't hijack your stuff. He makes it reads like a Chuck Dixon story, but if you came up with the idea, you see your own story right there. So I was actually kind of a little confused about how to credit him. So I ended up doing script by, because I was I didn't want to do the story by me, script by him. So I just did script by only.
Zach credit him as an artist.
Yes.
Videographer.
An artist. Yeah.
Videographer. Can you do the thing that you did in the video earlier today where you said, you need to remember you're not comics hate or comics late, but you're comics great. I laughed so freaking hard when I heard that.
Yeah.
Was that off the top of your head, or did you plan that one?
No, I think you misunderstood me. These are people who go, well, I want to be associated with this kind of a movement, but I'm fighting with some of the people within the movement, so I've left the movement. Okay, I'm not Comicsgate. I'm not comics late. I'm comics great, or something like that. Or they'll be like, I'm Team Comics, or it's just you're Comicsgate. These are all ways to try to escape this label. Comicsgate is either imposed on you by other people. SJWs in particular, they're going to decide if you're Comicsgate or not, or you can just take it yourself and say I'm Comicsgate. It's one of the two. There's no real third option for that. Ultimately, you can say, Doug TenNapel can say, for example, I'm not Comicsgate, but it doesn't really matter what he says. It matters what DC and Marvel say. It matters what the rest of the industry says, and they're going to say you're Comicsgate. So
Comicsbait because he had a porn addiction.
All right. So, all right, let's look at these covers here. Kevin Sharp is now doing a cover.
That sounds familiar, but I can't place it.
I knew Kevin Sharp in the 90s. He worked for Harris Comics. They did a Vampirella. It was Vengeance of Vampirella, and Kevin drew it, and it was good. I haven't heard from him since. I don't know where he went, but he's back now, So, and he's Comicsgate. Randy Green. Remember nice. Randy Green?
Yeah, Dark Child.
Right? No, that's Randy Queen.
Oh, Oh boy.
Randy Green would do like Gen 13 books.
Freddie got
Hey, speaking of which, so I got a Gail Simone book, Catalyst Prime something something by Lionforge. I bought it. She used to write Gen 13. It's freaking awesome. It's
What Gail's
fantastic.
book
writing.
is?
Yes, and this is the second time in the last month or so. She wrote this Iron Man. She's
Mhm.
listening to my videos. I don't care what anyone says. She's listening.
Mhm.
Or someone's transcribing what I'm saying because it's Chip Zdarsky all over again. It's like night and day versus what she was writing a year ago.
Interesting.
Catalyst Prime. It's a freaking Lionforge book, and it's freaking awesome.
Lionforge Oni, right? I mean, they're merged now officially.
I still don't think they have a name. Nobody cares. This thing was announced like a year and a half ago, and it's like six months late, but it's actually good.
Yeah.
Anyway, what Zach is trying to say, Gail, is you're welcome.
Why can't she just thank you?
I was saying, you're not comics hate or comics late, you're comics great.
Yeah. Why can't Gail just thank Zach? Send him a nice meat basket.
Why can't she be happy a meat basket?
Yeah, she sent me a meat basket once. She did.
Is that a real thing?
Yeah, I appreciated it. It was a meat basket. It was, one of those steaks. What are those?
Omaha steaks?
Oh, yeah, she sent me an Omaha steak basket one time.
I gotta tell, Cecil's idea about meeting for steaks, it was so freaking Mad Men. That sounds awful to me.
What are you talking about?
He's like, let's meet in New York and have steaks.
All right, let's have fucking breakfast burritos and yell about sour cream. How about
Dude,
that?
yeah, you eat a breakfast burrito, you're done in 5 minutes. Eat a steak, you're there for like 2 hours, and then you're just chewing.
We bullshit all the time online like this. We've been talking for like
Zach, why don't you like to just sit?
Not everybody has social anxiety disorder, Zach.
Yeah, why don't you want to just sit? Have a nice glass of whiskey. Have an enormous steak with your brothers and hang out, laugh, get drunk while eating a side of a cow. That sounds like a great time in New York to me. That you disagree?
You don't go to New York to sit in a restaurant and hear Cecil chew for 3 hours.
Oh, it's Cecil.
You go to New York to go out in New York.
It's a Cecil problem. I see what's going on here.
Yeah. I don't know. I like to go to New York to eat. They have great restaurants there. I mean, top notch.
I'm sure Zach is not going to order my $7,500 tier, which is a steak with Cecil in New York.
Yeah, as I look at this drawing, please fix the pants. Please fix what is going. How did he just? I think he just ended the Taco Bell $30 challenge here about 30 minutes ago. What is going on in
here? I don't see anything wrong with there. I think it's actually a pretty cool pose. I don't see that pose a lot.
No, the pose is great. Zach, what's filling? Just stare at this area for a little while. What's filling his pants here? Let's say the crotch is here.
You're going to be focused on the vampire in the back, which is drawn really well, and then that gargoyle. I like it. It's good. It's good.
It's Chrysler Building.
The hell was that?
That was my cat.
Oh, okay. Yeah, my cat's
I
down
don't
in the
know what
basement,
happened, but something's broken.
John Malin, are you still here?
Yes, I am.
What are you doing?
I'm checking out some of this Camzilla chick's tweets.
Oh, really? I'm going to add you to stream.
It's pretty interesting. I
Is
have
this
it on the
her?
screen. If you want to pick it up.
Yeah, I just did. Is she the Kickstarter woman? Is this? Yes.
Yeah, this is the Kickstarter.
Oh, she wears a cape. Is she wearing a cape?
I don't know what she's wearing. Like her sleeves are ripped. Her arms are out. It's weird. I stared at that for a while.
Yeah, you literally stopped the video. You go, let's just stop and look at this.
Yeah,
I think this one is important to Mike. To white allies who are creating characters of color, be cognizant of whether you're making them physically mutated in some way. When all the white characters look more human than the POC characters, it's a problem. So that's problematic. And Mike did make a whole bunch of Mexicans. He gave them tattoos.
Yeah.
Yeah. Gotcha, Mike.
Look at this. She's just laying down the law. Also, if you're a white creator and you're writing like an all POC cast, I don't know. I just feel like, whose voice are you taking away from? Are you doing right by them? Are you sure they're not caricaturists from a flimsy Benetton ad? Well, no, it's not.
So this is irony inception. A literally walking stereotype of an SJW. Is talking about characters. Also, how do you steal a story from a story you created? She's obviously talking about writing your own story. So like, if I write a story set on a Native American reservation, I'm stealing it from a Native American? No, that story didn't exist if it wasn't for me. This is insane. These are crazy people.
Well, no, but she's demanding representation. Okay, so we do as creators, if we're white creators, and I think we all are, and we want to adhere to the wishes of SJWs and therefore represent people, POCs, as much as possible. It's a double-edged sword. It's a catch-22 because we're not allowed to, because somebody else should be doing that. Like, we're taking away their voices from them by representing them in our stories. So therefore, according to Camilla Zahn, honestly, if you're white, your characters should all be white.
It's segregation.
Yeah.
Yeah. Congratulations, SJW. You guys brought back witch hunts and segregation.
That's 100% correct.
And slavery.
Genius.
Well,
here's how Camzilla feels about Trump supporters. He quotes the Michael Shannon tells Trump supporters it's their time to die now. She says, Michael Shannon, the actor most likely to be cast as a Nazi, destroys Nazi fanboys' dreams by telling them to go to hell. Oh, bah, ha, 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 ha. This fucking made my day.
Why is he most likely to be cast as a Nazi? Because he's white?
White male, you jerk.
He looks like one. I mean, he's Michael Shannon's a scary-looking white man.
Michael
I would cast him as a Nazi.
He's the guy who played Zod, right?
Yeah.
Did you ever see that movie, Nocturnal Animals?
No.
It's probably one of the best movies I've ever seen in my life, and he's freaking excellent. I don't see him as a Nazi, but he was really good as like a sheriff. Like he looks like an old cowboy sheriff to me.
Hey, is this a compilation done by Data Racer 117 here?
Yeah, I think so.
All right,
it's in our chat.
So let's shout out Data Racer 117. He makes these things up, and they're just fantastic. He's a good. He gets right to the heart of it. And when you see all these tweets together, the way he puts them together, the point always gets made. Is it okay to shorten comrades to rads? I kind of like it. Sounds legit to me. Communist. Okay. So our shared mission.
We're not even good communists. They tried to start a union in Kickstarter, and it was like destroyed, and everyone just like, okay.
Yeah.
Well, that explains her complete lack of interest in making money for her company.
Yeah, I mean, look, this is a person who definitely has an agenda. I mean, much more so. I mean, like I said, I'm a Republican. I voted for Trump. I'm excited about the next election.
You're a Republican? What?
Yes, indeed. And I, Zach has a question because I don't really talk about it that much. I mention it in passing, but if you look at my timeline, I'm not constantly going on about the fucking Democrats and.
That is like you used to talk about it a while, like 10 years ago, but you never bring it up ever nowadays.
That's because of you. That's because of you, pal. I don't bring it up because I watched your videos and changed the way I sort of talk about things. Yeah, in the past I was just as bad as Camilla Zahn, but on the right rather than on the left. There's constant mocking, torturing just regular Democrats, Obama supporters. It's just toxic. I hate to use that word, but it was just. For anyone who disagreed with me, my timeline on Facebook was intolerable. And I thought, well, fuck them, go away, because I was being a right-wing SJW. Once I started to see the argument that Zach was putting forward about why that was really, really stupid and bad for comics and bad for me, I stopped doing it, And I encourage other people to stop doing it too, honestly. If you're in business. If you're not in business, do whatever you want. But I'm here to sell comics. I'm not here to drive customers away.
Yes.
Agreed, yeah.
Comicsgate or Comics Hate?
Comics hate.
Comics great.
Yo, my amazing and talented friend Lian just relaunched his Kickstarter. If you want to help him smash the taboo of being openly gay in China and challenge gender stereotypes through fashion, get in on his amazing designs. Oh, imagine that. Like Camilla is letting her friends open up Kickstarter campaigns. It's good to know her, I guess. And yeah, the book is about being openly gay in China. Wow, how fun, Zach.
Fascinating.
Which one is Leon, on the right or the left?
I don't know. Oh,
I like that the one right before that is job security for her.
What does it say?
It says, our shared mission is to bring diverse content to a global audience. Do you really think people of color and women of color and queer folk are stupid? Who sits on the top? Who has been let go? If your company preaches, quote, diversity, but sheds outspoken women of color, who do you think you're fooling?
That's
she's just threatening. I'm unfireable. I will destroy you if you ever fire me, demote me.
100%. That's what she's saying.
By the way, I just reviewed this New Mutants War Children. It's Chris Claremont and Bill Sienkiewicz reuniting on the New Mutants from the first time in 30 years. New Mutants is so diverse, it's almost freaking insane. And it was published, in like 1982 in Reagan's America?
Mm-hmm.
And it totally works. 30 years later, it totally works.
Yeah, I liked it because I always liked the idea. It never felt like I was being like preached to or anything like that by weirdos.
There's no preaching, and they feel like kids. And you know what I noticed that never happens is at one point, I remember one of the common insults back then was to call kids babies. They would get really angry about it. Mm-hmm. But then you notice, like, they got that Greta, that environmentalist activist, they say, and she's like, "I'm a child. You have stolen my childhood." It's like, that's not how kids talk. Kids don't even want to admit they're kids. They're like, don't talk to me like I'm a baby.
Right.
I should be in school on the other side of the ocean. It's like the average kid would be like, hell yeah, I scammed a way to get out of school for a week. This is freaking awesome.
Yeah. Oh, John Malin needs to be let back in. Yeah. Here's the thing about New Mutants, by the way. I just want to say this. Like, the reason why it worked was because the idea that there were these mutations that were popping up in every ethnicity and every community all over the world, that they all shared that one common trait, mutation, they were mutants, was really appealing, and it needed diversity. It called for diversity because it made sense within the story. It was like, holy shit, even like Native Americans are suffering like the same mutation. Black people, white people, people all over the world, who are separated by miles and miles, are all enduring, having children that have these mutant abilities. It was
all different, like socioeconomic, like Sunspot. He was the son of a billionaire, and then you got Sam Guthrie, and he's just like a broke dude from the freaking Ozarks or something.
Right. Yeah. God, that book was cool. I love that book. I love Sunspot. I love Warlock. I love all those characters, man. That was a great, great book. I was so into the X-Men. I was so into mutants. I was so into Marvel Comics in the 80s. That's all I could think about.
Well, it actually is nice hearing like Yellow Flash is talking about House of X, Powers of X, or 10, I think you're supposed to say. And he's legitimately excited. Like, he's really happy. I'm kind of like okay into that Jonathan Hickman stuff, but it's nice to hear people excited because it's like legitimate excitement. It's not like, we finally have our first trans Eskimo leading an Avengers X-Men team.
Right.
What makes you think? Like, but they're obviously not interested in it at all.
Yeah.
I remember getting New Mutants #1. I was 9 months old.
Yeah, exactly. Good job committing to your continuity.
It was being tucked into my crib. I tore it apart, but I still have it.
God, Marvel Comics used to be so great. I mean, to think of what they are now, Marvel Comics doing cooking shows, and like, just, you guys, you have these characters. You have these characters that are just unstoppably interesting. There, I mean, you could. What is going on? Why can't they make those books sell? Why can't they do good stuff?
When we did that review of Joe Quesada spending 4 days and then like another 2 days a week later trying to destroy me, I just wanted to be like, you know what? Just peel me off one of your 5,000 characters. Give me Jack of Hearts. Give me Paladin. What would you do on a Paladin book? You know Paladin from Marvel?
Yeah.
You could do 20,000 on Paladin. 20,000 graphic novels.
Well, I mean, I guess I don't know why you're giving me him. Give me Werewolf by Night. My God, give John Malin Werewolf by Night. You know,
Yeah.
Just like their garbage characters, the garbage 70s horror characters could be reinvented.
That's one of my favorite stories of Stan Lee back when, like he was really trying to get into TV in Hollywood. Some fly-by-night producers like, we want Werewolf by Night. And he goes, it's just a werewolf, right? Like all werewolves are werewolves by night. There's literally nothing special about this character at all.
Just the title. That's all it is. It's just that title.
It's like calling a character a vampire blood drinker.
Yeah. Vampire blood drinker. Vampire by Night. If I could have any one of their obscure characters and do what I want, honestly, just give me Ghost Rider. Either one. Give me the horse Ghost Rider, or give me the motorcycle Ghost Rider.
Oh, the horse Ghost Rider was that the one who supposedly raped Mockingbird, and then Chelsea Kane says, "Oh no, he didn't rape me. I was having an affair with him, and I just lied to cover up my affair."
Oh shit!
I'm not kidding. That's what Chelsea Kane put in her book.
Are you kidding me? Ghost Rider supposedly raped. I didn't even know that bit of lore.
Yeah, it was the one that rides a horse.
Oh, okay.
Or a Mockingbird.
I would take Brother Voodoo or the Hypno Hustler.
Yeah.
I would take the big wheel. You remember the big wheel?
Yeah. Yeah, he was in a giant wheel. I think he fought Nova and Spider-Man he was fighting.
Yep.
Yeah.
Big wheel. That was like my first Spider-Man comic.
I don't know. What would you do, John?
Well, it's not so obscure, but it's not at its full potential. And Zach might be on board for this. But look, I do New Warriors, and I'd kill it.
Oh my God! I think we could do 30,000, 35,000 if we had New Warriors.
Yeah.
I think we do better than that, Zach.
I'm talking about 35,000 graphic novels, not $35,000.
Oh, okay.
Let me read some of these super chats, by the way. Dr. Ian Malcolm's here. He says, Cecil is life, Cecil is love.
Word.
Rainmaker, Rainmaker 3881 just joined the channel. Thanks. Thank you for joining. DJ2K says, hey, Cecil, promote Mike Angerhauser's ABCs of Anger on IndieGoGo. I read Mike's Black Forest, and it was one of my favorite IndieGoGo books. Okay.
It's excellent. I didn't realize he had a new book out. Check it out. Mike's a good guy.
John Kinney says, I love you guys. Steve Turney says, good morning from the UK. Thank you. Doomnotron says, the hut is back, baby. Yeah, everyone's excited.
We're all very excited.
I want to watch his review, but it's too long. If it were like a short video, I'd put it on and we'd watch it together. The hut's harassment is charming. He's a liar. He's a weirdo. Mm-hmm. And I'm telling you, I always watch his videos and go, no, you're wrong. Like, that's not true. I mean, that's not true. It's not true. But then I go, I might be being a spoil sport. Like, sometimes these people want to lie and create rumors, and you just kind of, it's fun for people. But
I'm just glad that I'm on a stream with Weirdo Ricardo.
Weirdo Ricardo. Yeah, I mean, in a way, he's cruel. Is he kind of cruel? I think he's kind of cruel.
Are you aware of him?
Yeah.
Oh, okay.
Yeah, I mean, it's a little bit like when here's the thing, like, Weirdo Ricardo's cruel. Zach is not weird at all. And also him kind of lusting after Betty Breitweiser and saying, how did you get her, pencil neck, is fucking awful. You know what I mean? Like, I calling Mitch pencil neck, I guess, is funny, but talking about his wife, that's like, there's a line there, I think.
What's going on? Women don't like sweaty tits anymore? I don't know anything.
Yeah, I don't know. I don't want to be a spoil sport about it, but there's occasionally he crosses the line that makes me think there's some fucking incel about him. But Cumberbatch Pepperpot says, love the book, EVS. Cumberbatch owns the original art to, I think, 2 of the covers.
So I saw that. I forget how it was, but I checked on his Twitter. He's not on Twitter much, but I saw original art for Salamandroid and Cyberfrog, and I was wondering what the story was there.
What do you mean?
You sold him the original art?
Oh, absolutely. Yeah. Yeah. I sold the covers, all the covers to Cyberfrog
Are they
have
full
found
size
homes.
though? They look like smaller than 11 by 17.
Because they are. They weren't meant to be the covers. I kind of settled in when I was first starting out talking about doing this, and drew on 11 by 14 sheets of paper. And I just drew, and I thought, well, these will be nice pinups. But because I was so energized, I ended up drawing. I mean, the Cyberfrog piece that everybody's seen, that was on 11 by 14 paper. The Salamandroid as well, and that fist bump cover done on 11 by 14, and they're so good. In my opinion, I'm so pleased with them that I went, these are the covers. You know, it's like it's almost like the covers for this book happened accidentally. They weren't planned. They came forth, and once they come forth, you have to just accept that this is you know, I'm happy with all the covers. So
I actually had like a temper tantrum today because I missed getting to my PO box, because I think I have either the Salamandroid cover or maybe the Chromium. I forget which one I ordered.
Mhm.
So I was sure it was there, but of course I got there like 30 seconds after their closing time, and they were just locked up tight.
yeah, your Chromium's probably here. People are getting their Chromiums, and I think the Salamandroids. I went in today and to sign with Andrea, and like there were stacks and stacks of crates, and I counted them, and I said, okay, there are 8,000 books here for me to sign. And they said, no, these ones over here against the wall, these are the ones that you signed yesterday or 2 days ago. And I went, they didn't go out yet. Those are the Salamandroids. And they're like, no, we're a little bit backed up. So, I mean, I've been rocking it, and I've been signing books so fast that, you know, fulfillment is a little bit behind. But I think the Salamandroids all went out today, you know, which means that people get them Monday. You'll start to see Salamandroids on Monday. They're beautiful. Zach, I'll send you. Let me just mail you one of everything.
I can just check when I ordered. I'm kind of whenever I back a crowdfunding, it's fire and forget. You know what I mean? Like I'll check like a year later. Did I get this? Did I not get it? And, so I'm just gonna check.
Okay, yeah. I mean,
I really want the Chromium. Like I didn't really know what it was back then.
Mm-hmm.
So I'm checking what it is right now.
I will tell you, I like just me and my comps. Like I brought home 2 crates of everything, and I treasure them. I don't know what it is. It's like they're made of gold. The Chromium books are so goddamn pretty.
I have the Cyberfrog Blood Honey team up cover, so I didn't get the Chromium.
Oh, you didn't get the Chromium? You didn't back me the first campaign, Zach?
Wait, is Chromium the first one?
Yes.
Damn.
Scandal.
He waited for one.
No,
I back all your campaigns. As soon as they come out, I don't understand.
No, I have May 30th, 2018, Ethan Van Sciver's Cyberfrog Blood Honey comic book.
That's it.
I think that's the Chromium?
That's the Chromium, yeah. You
the
got
other one I got was the team up.
Yeah, so you backed me twice. I appreciate you. Skipped the Salamandroid.
I'm still waiting on Brigade. I'm actually a little salty because Rob Liefeld is supposedly debuting the Brigade at New York Comic Con instead of just sending it to his backers.
Yeah,
I'm getting a little bit comic book huddy about that. I was like, dude, really? Because Rob is like all about Hollywood. Like he's just like he doesn't like it's just obsessive.
Yeah, he doesn't care about his backers there. Here's the thing. Like I had a fantasy the other day. I was like, I've got all these books. I was talking to Andrea about it too. I'm like, can you imagine?
The first one I backed. So I went all the way back in my IndieGoGo. I backed Cyberfrog, Blood Honey, Red Rooster, Graveyard Shift, Brigade. Wow, Rob Liefeld was like my 4th one I backed.
Yeah, I didn't back him. You can get this is the thing about that. This is where we disagree. You can get any Rob Liefeld book in a 25-cent bin from that era. You can get, any one of them, and they look the same. Like his current book looks the same as it did, in the 90s. I don't understand why you would pay more for that.
Disagree. He's got a distinctly different style than he had in the 90s, both better and worse. Draftsmanship is better, but like the raw excitement is kind of tamped down.
Yeah. The whole thing just baffles me. I don't really get it, but I don't think, it's clear, Rob Liefeld came and he did his crowdfunding effort and it didn't really work out. So people saying if these bigger names would just come over and do crowdfunding, they would do. I don't think so. I don't think that's
John
true in
Gordon
every
Murphy's
case.
going to do $1 million straight up.
Yeah, we'll see. I think it's going to depend on what the project is.
Well, as far as I can tell, it's an actual story, not an art book. Art book, I don't care. I mean, I'll buy it, but it's not a big deal.
What the hell was fantasy the other day?
Is it going to be Batman? Here's why I say that, Zach. Here's why I say I'm not sure. Because again, these guys do their own independent projects left and right on Image, and people either buy them or they don't, and they mostly don't. Okay, so I mean, you look at the sales numbers on these indie projects at Image, people mostly don't buy them. So
he's in a league of his own. Sean Gordon Murphy. He's going to make $1 million. He's got the stage. He's got the followers, and also he's got like the politics. You know, like he'll be taking a picture with Mags. He'll go on a live stream with Doug, and then he'll just do like, you know, regular comic book industry stuff. Like it's gonna be huge.
I got a question for you, Zach. Speaking of that, what do you think about Ed Piskor blocking all of Comicsgate?
It's, you know, it bothered me when I realized it happened to me. It bothered me. I don't know how. I literally don't understand how he did that, because you can't do a block list on YouTube. So that would involve him individually knowing everyone that's connected to it, and then individually block them.
No, he had to figure out a way to block everybody. He couldn't. Even Anna's blocked.
I have no knowledge of a mass blocking on YouTube. You have to know Anna's connected. You have to know, you know, you're connected, and then you have to see them do something and then block it. As far as I know.
Well, I thought it was
All you gotta do is get a copy of that blacklist.
Zach, what is people's reason for buying the Sean Gordon Murphy book? What do you think is going to motivate that? What do you think is going to get him to $1 million?
You're going to get great art. He's got the momentum of the excitement. He's done like basically most of the right things. The only small misstep I've seen from him is I listened to the Doug Tanapo podcast, and he says, I don't like when people call others SJWs or Nazi. If you do that, you're part of the problem. Like, nobody loses out on a job because they go, oh, we Googled it and somebody called you an SJW 5 years ago. Oh, we can't hire you. Like, Nazi destroys life.
Yeah, I really resent that. You know, I really resent SJW being compared with the gravity of these SJWs calling people Nazis. I think that's a really like subversive bit of bullshit that's being put into the bloodstream of people. Are, you know, SJWs are trying that out to say, look, don't call us SJWs. It's as bad as us calling you a Nazi. That's bullshit. You're SJWs. Your social justice words. It has a very distinct definition. Okay. And part of that is a person who engages in the cancel culture for the, you know, for reasons of ideology, identity politics, et cetera, et cetera. That's a real thing. Nazi is not a real thing. Nazi is just somebody that's the worst thing imaginable that you can call somebody just because they voted differently than you. You know, it's not the same at all. It's not even close to being similar. It's not even what Zach says is true. Like, yeah, SJW, being called an SJW isn't going to cost you your job. Being a Nazi will. That's all true as well. But they're not equal things. SJWs are a factual social phenomenon that's going on. They have no precedence really in history. And it is a current internet social crisis that needs to be pointed out. Did he leave? I think I started yelling and he left. Triggered Zach. He'll come back if he can. But yeah, I really resent that. I'm not sure about Sean Gordon Murphy getting to $1 million. I know we've seen.
Yeah, I don't think it's going to happen. I don't think it's going to happen. You know, look, I'd be very happy if it did, because I think what would happen if it did get to like $1 million is I think people would leave the mainstream companies overnight. I think that would happen almost immediately, but I don't think it's going to happen because it's when you're working on Batman, again, there's an expression, it's not you, it's Batman. It's a big difference from working on Batman and working on your own properties. So you don't have that big DC muscle going for you anymore. Yeah, you'll have some, you know, fans that are going to follow you, but it's the platform which he lacks. He has no real YouTube channel. He has no live streaming. You have to push to make this stuff happen. It's very difficult. Even Doug with Earthworm Jim, that's a 30-year-old property that's been fully thrown into the mainstream. And I don't know where he ended at, but 800,000. And you think Sean Gordon Murphy with a no-name product is going to do $1 million? I mean, again, if he did it, great. I'd be very excited. Not going to happen though.
Now, Earthworm Jim is $1 billion property. I mean, it's massive.
Yeah, it's multimedia.
Yeah, and he was able to get 800. I don't think a no-name project from Sean. I predict between 1 and 3.
100 and 300,000.
Yep.
Yeah. I think I'm with you on that, and I think that's being generous.
I think that's a super successful campaign. I think that's great.
Yeah, but I also say when we make these numbers, we need to be careful because we don't know what he's going to put in the campaign. I mean, ideally, he could put his home in as a tier to make it $1 million campaign. So, without knowing the nuts and bolts of what's going to be in there, it's really hard to say. I think backer count is, more something we could really get closer. And I think he'd be incredibly lucky to get 5,000 backers. I think that's very, very generous, but 5,000 tops.
I lost power and I just got back in. Who would get 5,000?
Sean Gordon Murphy.
Oh, I think he's going to get 25,000.
Zach, I don't. We'll have to see. We'll have to see. I don't. Here's what I want to be cautious of, because I like Sean Gordon Murphy. I don't want to set up this crazy pie in the sky expectation for what Sean Gordon Murphy is going to earn, and then him come out and have a really successful campaign, which would be between $100,000 and $300,000, which is my prediction and Cecil's as well, and then that be deemed a failure. I mean, it's like that we have to be careful about that, because it's like if we're saying Sean Gordon Murphy's going to make $1 million and he comes out and he makes $300,000 on his campaign, which is not Batman, when his fans are mostly not inclined to respond to crowdfunds and really like him on Batman, and I'm not sure what his other properties would be, but whatever, it's all untested. He doesn't have a social media presence. Okay, really. That would be extraordinary.
During the course of Earthworm Jim, Doug managed to get 7,658 backers. In the full campaign, he did 9,080 backers, and this is a 30-year-old mass media property by its creator.
And Doug worked tirelessly. Doug worked social media tirelessly. He was on every channel. He tapewormed off of this channel. He tapewormed off of Nick Rekieta. He did everything that he could to get out there and have his face out there every single day because he knew the game. Will Sean Gordon Murphy, is he going to appear on this channel? Probably not. He'll appear on Doug TenNapel. That's not going to do much for him. He'll get on Nick Rekieta, I'm sure. That'll push him a little bit, but here's the thing. I don't think he's going to get to $1 million, and I don't want it to be deemed a failure when he doesn't. I want it to be deemed an amazing success, because him succeeding is going to prompt other normie comic book creators to actually depart the fold, and they need to see that what he's done is a success. So, I will say between 1 and 3, and if he hits something more than that, I'm going to be blown out and overjoyed. I think it's going to be amazing. But yeah, I think me and Cecil and John are all in the same spot here.
I'm in the same boat. If he does better than it, I'd be happy about it. I think it would be great, but realistically, 1 and 3.
Yeah, and you're not alone, Zach. I think Huerta and Donald DeLay are also expecting $1 million campaigns minimum. So
minimum, wow, all right, huge. Well, I mean, if that happens, that's gonna set a new precedent. And then if that happens, then you can expect guys like Scott Snyder to consider jumping, and Greg Capullo to consider jumping. The
entire industry is going to be jumping at that point.
Yeah, it's gonna be a revolution.
I just looked up his Kickstarters, and his Kickstarters were just for art books. Looks like the first one had 634 backers at 50,000. The second one, that's the one I remember, 1,000 backers at 76,000. But again, these are art books. People don't care about art books. Just a bunch of sketches. Nobody cares about this. If he does an art book, yeah, he'll make 150,000. If he does a character, especially if it's some Batman-esque character,
Yeah,
I can see it being $1 million. That's counting, a tier has $2,000 to buy one of his original art pages, and he sells
Andrew
50.
Hart is in the chat. He says he didn't say $1 million. Donald DeLay did.
Donald says $1 million. Andrew says $500,000. That's more reasonable. That's a good likelihood. And he could do that.
200,000 is a win. If he gets 200,000, I mean, that should be seen as a huge win. And hopefully that starts motivating more people to start coming over to crowdfunding from the mainstream.
Well, supposedly a good conversion rate is 10%. He sells 80,000 of Batman White Knight. So if you could get 8,000 people, isn't that what Doug's got? Doug's at what, 12,000 something?
I haven't looked. Yeah, what's Earthworm Jim at right now?
Looking that up right now. Is it a Kickstarter or an IndieGoGo? No, I see it here.
IndieGoGo.
It's at 816,000.
Yeah, and how many backers?
9,080.
You got to remember, Zach. The books he's selling have maybe the three most popular characters. It's Batman, Joker, and Harley Quinn. Are basically what his books are about. I mean that's a huge part of it. I mean, not taking anything away from Sean Gordon Murphy. He's great, and I love his work. But he's working on
fantastic work.
He's working on a Batman and Joker story with Harley Quinn. So there are people who will just buy that and they don't even know who the fuck Sean Gordon Murphy is. They're just buying that book.
Yeah, we'll
I'm
have
very
to
interested. It sounds like this thing is going to be happening sooner rather than later, like within 4 or 5 months.
Good.
Yeah.
Yeah, I think he's going to get a lot of good word of mouth and support. A lot of people in Comicsgate really like him. They like his attitude. It should do very well.
Yeah.
You want to put some money on it, Zach?
Nah.
It'd be fun. I would probably put some money on it. I like the idea of doing a betting pool. I would do it.
Me and you agree, though.
Oh, yeah. I would say I would take between 250 and 300. That would be my margin. I don't know if that's okay.
500,000 to 750,000. If I had to put money in, that's what I'd put money on.
Yeah, that's a wide margin.
I'll take between 1 and 250. Then I'll knock mine down.
You'll take between 100 and 250. How come I only get a $50,000 margin and you guys are taking $250,000 margins?
Because you don't know how to negotiate, you jerk.
Son of a bitch.
Wait, what was your bet, Ethan, or your estimate?
200 to 250? No, 250 to 300.
Yeah, I think that's about it.
Yeah,
I think that's the sweet spot. I'm going to say 300 to 350.
Yeah, okay. We'll just kind of keep notes on that, and we'll just watch how it goes. So, what do you mean it's going to happen sooner than later?
That it's not like a year from now. It sounds like I think Curse of the White Knight is 8 or 9 issues. He said on the Doug podcast, which was recorded like a week or so ago, that he's on issue 6, and it sounds like he's ready to go. I mean, he actually spent a lot of time talking about it, and he says he's got the numbers in his head. He says he expects to make more money, I guess, per page off of this than he makes off of freaking Batman.
Wow.
Because it's crowdfunding. You get to keep the majority of the money. So did
he say what he thought he might make?
No, he just said he's done the numbers and he sounded very confident.
Interesting. Okay, cool.
Hopefully his numbers are more in line with our numbers than your numbers, Zach, because he might be crushed.
Okay. Let's check out Lonestar Heart of the Hero and see how it's doing now.
Topic is going to be, it's an Afro-funk steampunk adventure.
I'll buy that. All right.
Mike capitalized the I in is.
Oh shit. Mike has been
Mike, get it together.
Mike's campaign has been going now for 3 hours, and he's got 6 backers and has not moved. Has not moved. Of course, it is 4 in the morning, you know. When did he launch this? Did he launch this at midnight?
If he cared about punctuation, maybe he'd be doing better.
What about punctuation?
The capital I.
Oh yeah, Kickstarter is on IndieGoGo. Right. Okay. True. All right. Yeah, Mike's live streaming right now. People told me he's got 23 people watching him. That's not a good sign. Tomorrow should be better. Mike. Yeah. Cat Rachel White says, "Congrats, Mike. Congrats." All right, so let's go through these super chats here. Let's see. Cumberbatch Pepperpot loves the book. Dr. Ian Malcolm says, "Congrats, John, on this historic win." So John has won 3 of these contests in a row.
Yep. Comicsgate and Phantom Menace, we won it together. Thank you all for your support. Appreciate you.
Wonderful. Let's see. Kaiju Spirit says, "Hail, it's 3 of the 4 horsemen of Comicsgate. Congratulations on your win tonight, John. I did congratulate you despite being timed out by some weeb." That would be Hikaru, whatever.
Hikaru, probably.
Hikaru. Mike Dalton says, "Mike knew damn well what he was doing." Daniel C says, "Who's going to beat me? Is Ethan here? No. All I see before me is mortal men." Thank you, John. God damn, that's cool. John Malin on tonight's Durana Quartered quote of the century, #Malin Militia. Let's see. Charlie's London says, "Mike speaks of pride and envy, but he's shown that with this. He went for envy at other people's money and it bit him. Pride won't let him say he's wrong." James Dean Anderson says, "See, thanks for reminding me I can drink now. Cheers." Kid Menu Jeremy says, "EVS, was Mike trying to resell Lonestar 1 on Kickstarter? Confused about exactly what happened." Yes, Mike was trying to resell Lonestar #1 with 9 different variant covers on Kickstarter for his own reasons, and you would have to look inside his head to find out. I think he intended to do it. This is my opinion. I think he intended to do it as a way of breaking down Comicsgate and saying, like, if they took Lonestar #1 on Kickstarter, it would basically be saying, see, Comicsgate is wrong. Like, we don't have to just stick to IndieGoGo. These guys are paranoid and living in a bubble. Kickstarter is going to take us too. So why wouldn't we work on Kickstarter? There's that reason, coupled with the reason that he's still got 5 unfulfilled comics on IndieGoGo. They're not going to cash them out until those are fulfilled. So why not just make money off of Kickstarter? He doesn't have a project there. They would cash him out instantly. They would have if they accepted his book. So that was plan A. Plan B is act like a victim because Kickstarter didn't accept your book. When we told you that was the case, we told you that. So he's at plan B right now. He's acting victimized by Kickstarter, but Mike's a victim of Mike. Wayward Comics says, "Hail Caesar, fence sitters will not be tolerated." Jimmy Owens says, "Dad's got cancer and lost the use of his legs this week. Can't tell you how much Cyberfrog has helped me escape life even for a short time. Thank you."
Wow. Hey, what about that guy who went on Kevin Smith and was saying that Kevin Smith and your show got him through a bunch of stuff?
Yeah, did I show you that? Did you see that?
I don't remember where I saw it. I saw just a snippet of it.
Yeah, I didn't. I'm afraid to show it too much because I might get copyright struck.
Well, no, because then 12 Psychos will spend a week trying to get Kevin Smith to denounce it.
Yeah. Which is fine. If he denounced me, I would like that. But
Kevin Smith would denounce you so quickly. He's like the biggest kiss ass now ever.
Plus, I made fun of him.
He went from rebel to shill very quickly.
Yeah. So what happened was Kevin Smith's got a show, and he's got this kind of open mic where the fans can talk to him. And this one gentleman walked up to the microphone and said, I was feeling very, very depressed, and I was in a very dark place. Then I found 2 YouTube shows. I found yours and Comic Artist Pro Secrets. And, they kind of motivated me and made me feel better. And I now created this suicide prevention charity. And, this is just part of the good works that, Zach, it's just part of the good works that I do, that I'm not aware of. It's
That's
like
great.
dropping a stone in the pond and the ripples, ripple forth and into infinity. That's me.
Yeah, and sorry to hear about that person's father. Very sad.
Yeah. Jimmy Owens, sorry about your dad. I mean, it's crazy. That's a lot of there's going to be some struggle. So he's like, I can't comics. This is what comics are supposed to be. Everyone's life has difficulties. Everyone has problems. They really just want to escape into a world of fun and adventure and horror, and to be preached at about the problems of the world, to add those to your stack of problems when you're just trying to escape the world is cruel. So Jimmy,
lecturing,
hectoring.
Kelsey wanted to say something.
God, I meant to fucking hell.
I lost it. Oh my God. Holy shit. I love that. My God, I've been to fucking hell. That's my favorite clip from Kelsey ever. So Horace Cock Johnson says it's not even if it's not been mentioned concerning the Taco Bell challenge, extra cheese is 75 cents per item. Hey, that's a good
Yes, it is.
Ooh. And I heard someone, Mike actually brought up that you can get like these cinnamon wafer deals, and there's mostly air, but you could get through those. So if that is true, I ask all contestants to respect the challenge and get a suitable item. Don't cheat don't cheat your way through with some little cinnamon crisp wafer.
I think we should all post our menu an hour before.
Let me, what? I might get involved because let me scout out the Taco Bell.
Fast food involved, of course.
Well, yeah, no, it's the opposite of that. I know that's what you think, but I don't like to eat fast food. I really don't. I'm against it. I like to eat good food, but a lot of it, So let me go scout out the Taco Bell and look at the menu and put together something reasonable. $30. I love the idea. I know Taco Bell does have some expensive menu items. That makes me feel like I can do it.
I know I drove by a Taco Bell this evening and it talked about now it has a big sign that says breakfast.
Mm-hmm.
I can't imagine anything that sounds worse at breakfast than Taco Bell.
Taco Bell, no.
It's awful.
Horrendous.
Is everyone planning to starve themselves today?
Yeah.
What's the goal?
No.
So is it tonight? Yeah. What time is it?
I'm even. I don't smoke weed, but I'm 100% going to smoke a joint before my appetite up.
Between 10 and 11 p.m. Eastern is our normal start time for Jack's show. I don't know if we got it.
Kelsey has been completely dropped off the map. So I was saying, if Anna will not keep this on her stream on her channel, so I was offering to have it on mine and reimbursing anybody. I'd use the super chats and just PayPal everybody to reimburse the expense. Everybody down with that? I'm not trying to.
Well, I'm down with you getting super chats. I don't need to be reambused.
No. I don't need to be reimbursed either. I don't know what we'd be reimbursed for. $30. Is that what you're talking about?
Yeah, but I would send it.
I don't think that's necessary, Cecil. We're feeding ourselves. I think everyone can pay for their own food.
I don't know. I was trying to.
Pretty sure, yeah. We're famous YouTubers,
Yeah, you guys don't have to sell bootleg Dread merch to pay for your food?
No. God, that was so stupid, dude. That was so stupid that they did that. It was fun.
That was great.
All right, so let's see. Horace Cock Johnson. Okay, that's a good tip. Mike Dalton says Mike, who is stream sniping now, is his own worst enemy. He doesn't know that. Echo Base Network says, wow, the Comic Book Hut actually had good things to say about his copy of Cyberfrog. I was kind of surprised to hear him say that. I figured he would trash it. It's beautiful. What are you going to do? You get the book and you're actually in awe of it. It's like opening the Ark of the Covenant. Well, it's not like opening the Ark of the Covenant. It is like opening the briefcase in Pulp Fiction, right?
And
there you go.
is it like opening the Ark of the Covenant where your face melted off?
Yeah. It's not like that. It's not like that. Let's see. Andrew Huerta says, it is clear that ex-Comicsgaters are trying to get back in. I don't know about that. And then he says, in other words, Mike is using schemes and scams. Yes, he is definitely using schemes and scams. Mike is definitely using schemes and scams. And he's trying to catch up. He's trying to catch up with the fact that he's behind. And he is very behind. I have receipts. I will not use them. I'm not going to use them.
Michael, if you are using schemes and scams, I have one thing to say to you.
How dare you?
Donut Swan, thank you for $20.
Am I the only one who keeps watching that speech and just laughing like a freaking supervillain?
I fucking love it.
I probably watch it.
No, we all laugh.
bad.
Oh no, it's not infuriating. It's freaking hilarious.
And she loves that girl.
It's so
It was
manipulative. It's so like poorly written. I like how she goes from just a bland face to crying in like 15 seconds.
Mhm.
Like, the parents are like for like 3 weeks, you're like, cry. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
Like, you have stolen my childhood and my dreams. How dare you? And her like cartoonish parents were like, do it 500 more times. Can you cry blood? Can we get you to cry blood?
Oh my
By
God.
talking to their doctor. Is there any medicine we give her where the side effect is she cries blood?
You just made whiskey come out of my nose when you said
I hate her face. I really hate her face.
Well,
And-
that's okay. So obviously it's a kid, so there's an aspect of you have to step back. But then the other aspect is that they're using a kid. But like she makes these like supervillain faces, and but SJWs love it. They're like, look, like one of her eyes is twitching and she's crying and laughing at the same time. You're like, no, you have to see a doctor when that happens. Like it's nothing incredible. When you're crying and laughing and twitching at the same time, there needs to be a medicine for that.
Right.
Well, the funny thing is, here's where I love it. It's a 3.5 minute speech. It actually loses steam like 32 seconds in. And there's the one point where it's like 1 minute to 2 minutes in where she just starts saying random factoids that aren't true. And it's just blather, like nothing connects at all. So SJWs and like the loony left spent like a week talking about like a D- speech in like debate class. Like it's horrible. It makes no sense except for you got, like this girl to like cry on command and like, how dare you? I should not be here. This is wrong. I should be on the other side of the ocean. Well, you got on a boat and you went to this side of the ocean. So don't act like you just woke up here at a press conference.
Yeah, and
I'm saying
came.
two to three times a day. And it's like a week old, right? I laugh so hard every time I watch it.
Oh God, it makes me angry. It just makes me angry. I guess not at her, even though her face, like she's confronting the people who murdered her parents in court. Like that's the only reason why a 16-year-old should be making faces like that. Like you're devastated, and she's talking about some abstract concept like global warming and climate change, and she's blaming people. And I mean, it's just fucking so annoying and it's so SJW. It's so left wing.
Evil.
Like she's condemning the world. This child, and we're, this is the way liberals are. This is the way these lefties are. It's like, okay, so you basically, assuming that what she's saying is actually coming from her heart for a second, you basically indoctrinated this child into insanity. Okay, she is literally insane right now.
To being miserable and like even stuff. She's like, we are past the point of no return. It is mass extinction. And when I'm 75, like, wait, when is this mass extinction? When is it going to happen? You're talking to you're going to live to 75 and have kids. Like, are you going to be on like an ice floe or something like that in the middle of the Adriatic Sea?
The tone change. It's 1 minute. It's like smoke them if you got them. We got like 30 seconds left.
Right.
But you know what? When she said we have 12 years left, Nick Lowe said this. If you can listen.
I know we say that a lot, but it's true.
It's true this time. Yeah, I know. But it's just like, all right. So they drive kids nuts with propaganda, and then they go, "We have to listen to the children. We've got to listen to the children." No, you don't have to listen to kids. Kids don't know anything. Kids do not know a goddamn thing except for what parents tell them, what adults tell them, and then they program them and say we need to listen to them. It's just so God, these people, and this is the thing. It's like the elections next year. It's so bad. It's going to be a wipeout next year. It's going to be awful.
It's going to be beyond a wipeout. Like, I'm not really following the news, but my buddy is, and every time he's like, "Wait, what happened?
Yeah.
Wait, Biden said he never talked to his son about this, the Ukraine, and then there's a picture of them golfing together. That happened like 20 seconds later. Like." I just want to see Elizabeth Warren with AOC running, and it's going to be so fun.
It's going to be a good time. I'm looking forward to it. You know, I'm in a much better spot this year and next year than I think I was in 2016. I will thoroughly enjoy the election.
I'm going to make a prediction. Either Hillary or Michelle Obama is going to enter the race.
They're saying Hillary is.
Oh, my gosh.
They're saying Hillary is. I think that would be interesting. I think they're trying so hard, and it's like Joe Biden's teeth are falling out. His eyes are filling with blood. He's just falling apart. It's like, God, let's just try Hillary. You know, it's like.
No, the thing is, Michelle Obama, she walks away with it. If she enters the race, she walks away with it easily. But I think she's too smart. She's like, I don't want to deal with this idiocy. Like, it's just a clown show.
Yeah. Well, I think
also,
that's true.
This is their time to make money. She's making millions a year. She doesn't want to stop to make. What does the president make? Like 225,000?
Yeah, 350.
When they
really?
Yeah.
It's 350 now.
I think so.
Oh wow.
You're like, oh wow, I got to go for that job. That's
no. It's like he's making that upper mid tier orthodontist pay. That's impressive.
Dougie P says, "Are your ears burning, EVS?" I know he's talking about me. I know he is. What are you gonna do? All right, so let's see. Brian Kriskow says, "Yo, Cecil, did you get those copies of Six Gun Gorilla I sent your way? Hoping to reach 50% this week. Mad crazy props to Easy E and Richard."
No, I did not get them yet, but I would love to read them.
Let's see. John Malin left. Let's see. Donut Swan says, "I don't care about follows. I just want freaking action. Point at any guy with dreadlocks, and I can tell you how long he's been growing them, plus or minus 6 months." Is that true? Okay. Liam Gray says, "I'm an hour behind on the stream, but I am here." Corey Legend says, "Pretty sure the creators of Archer are about to sue." Roden says, "Anna hates G.I. Joe." Anna, you hate G.I. Joe?
Yes.
Why?
It's not something I've ever been interested in.
But you hate it, or you just don't care about it?
Maybe I shouldn't say I hate it. It's just like an irritation whenever I see it.
Would you say that it's stolen your dreams in your childhood?
Yes.
No, I would not say that.
She doesn't know what she's talking about. I haven't coached her yet, but yes, it has.
Right. Start crying, please. Yeah, everyone's upset with you. Kick Anna.
Cry with half of your face and then laugh and have a palsy with the other one.
I have to say, Anna, I'm with you. I never like. You were either a Transformers kid or a G.I. Joe kid, and I was a Transformers kid. I didn't like G.I. Joe.
Yeah, I don't like Transformers either until I was older and saw the movie.
I don't like the movie. The cartoon, to me, like, those characters were real. Like the Transformers cartoon, I remember just being like, no, these characters are real to me. I really, really liked it. I knew them all. I thought they had cool names. Like, I couldn't wait to watch the show.
Ethan, I asked Anna what she would rather do than watch G.I. Joe, and she said this.
I'm like Princess
Oh,
Leia.
wait, wrong one.
Try again.
So I can just get laid the entire time.
I still want to know the context of that conversation.
No.
You're talking about your honeymoon.
Oh, yeah.
Yeah. Okay. Cecil's got all of his things lined up there. All right. So Darth Dank says, when will we get a comic universe for the Cecil universe, the Cecil verse?
It's coming soon.
Sage Barnes says, sorry if this is off topic. Cecil, I sent some things to your P.O. box, but I got a message saying it can't be delivered. Could you check your email? Okay.
What do you mean it can't be delivered? Was it liquor?
Maybe it was liquor. Yeah.
Man, those fuckers.
Yeah. Go get it.
I used to get a bottle every week. Now they caught on to me.
Kid Menu Jeremy says, here's some cash to shut Zach's interrupting mouth. Zach does interrupt a lot. You got to let him do it. Corey Legend says, would you do a variant of Lonestar as the Tin Man? Yeah. No, he likes the Tin Man. I don't think he is the Tin Man. Rabbit T Cat says, said he finished today. Cars in Depth says, did you see Hut's review of Cyberfrog? No, I'm looking forward to it. CFan85 says, how long is he staying on that gargoyle? It looks like the center of balance is in the front of his legs. Andrew Huerta says, MS-13 are from El Salvador, not Mexico. My mistake. Peppermint Oil Capsule says, back in hospital this week. So glad I've got Cyberfrog to cheer me up. Thank you, EVS. Hope you and your kids got the Rod of the Hut parcel I sent. What? Didn't get it. Corey Legend says, is true Rob got Simonson removed from New Mutants? Zach, do you know anything about that?
Oh, Louise Simonson was the writer. She went through an era with Brett Blevins, and then Rob Liefeld came aboard, and I believe so. She was partly responsible for, it was called Commander X, and then he became Cable. I know Walter Simonson's done a couple of salty Facebook posts about his wife being kind of cut out of the creation of Cable and New Mutants. I don't know if he straight up got her fired, but it kind of like he put it out there that he wanted it to be his, and it was like he was the big new thing back then, so I can see it.
Yeah. Okay. Let's see. Where am I at here? Liam Gray says, okay, I'm caught up. Thank God for twice speed. And Seedfan85 says, is there synonymity between calling your political opponent a Nazi on the left and a socialist on the right? No, it's still not the same. Yeah.
Nobody applies for, freaking an apartment and says, like, oh, someone called you a socialist 5 years ago. No, you can't rent here.
Hey,
Yeah.
Zach, do you remember a storyline in New Mutants where the I think she was Chinese, Shin, what was the chick? She had like a psi power, and then they fed her and made her like really gigantically fat.
Yeah, that was Karma. She got super fat, and then she got teleported into a desert, and then she lost all her weight. Got skinny again.
Yeah.
Good for her.
I never checked the private chat. John Malin said, gotta go, wife's up. And then he left. I didn't even know. I was like, oh, John's gone. Is he coming back? No, he's not.
I need to get teleported into a desert.
Teleported into a desert.
Yeah, like that chick from New Mutants. She was huge. She just was like hands. She was as big as that girl from Willy Wonka, like when she was a ball.
Mm-hmm. Arathane says, John Mollusk made a death metal song out of Greta's speech. Oh, I'll have to hear that. Horace Cock Johnson says, a pie eating a hole. A homosexual alcohol IC. A baby making machine. A baby hating West Coaster. And John Malin. I didn't know there was a Golden Girls remake.
Is that us?
Yeah. Oh, I read it wrong. A pie eating a hole, not a pie eating a hole. You got to put in a pot or a dash there. A pie eating a hole. Who's the baby making machine? Oh, that's Zach.
Zach.
A baby hating West Coaster.
That's me.
That's it. And then John Malin. John Malin doesn't get it. Any description.
What did I?
But
why?
I don't know. What would you call John Malin? And there's nothing.
He's definitely he's the author character for sure. He's the voice of reason.
Yeah, I think so. I guess you could call him the voice of reason.
Dorothy for sure.
Yeah. Okay, so in any case, I think I'm going to go to work now. I only meant this to be like an hour long, and it's just we've been going for almost 3 hours now, which is nothing to Anna, which is nothing to Cecil, which is nothing to John Malin or anyone else. But to me, it's like very impressive. And I want to thank everybody for being here. Zach, I want to talk to you. I'll talk to you in private messages about a couple of things.
Yeah.
And let's get to. Are you going to bed? What are you doing? Are you up or are you going to bed?
I'm up now.
Yeah. Okay, cool. All right. Thanks everyone for being here. I'll see you again later on today with another live stream. Take care.